Well, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it is the 16th of April 2021, 3 minutes past 5 here in the United Kingdom. I can't believe it's been over a week since I've been last streaming. A lot has been going on between last week and now in my personal life. So, been nice since the 12th of April, obviously, with the lockdown ending. Been seeing my mum for the first time. Seeing my stepbrother, Mary and I have been out shopping, getting lots of nice things for Flight Deck to Sim household. I've been putting shelves up, I've got some more mirrors to put up. So yeah, just it's been a nice little break actually. A little bit more normality. Fortunately, no flying in between, but hopefully flying in a not too distant future. I think I've been saying that for the past 6 months routinely, but we'll have to see. But I hope you've all been doing very, very well in that period. It's a lovely evening to go live streaming and flying today. A nice little sector from London to Barcelona. We've got here today John Padfield, hope you're doing well, buddy. Warrior Lad, Stepan says hello as well. Matt Haynes, hope you're doing very well too. Tom C, anyone know what the equipment suffix is for the 757-300? No idea, sir. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure someone might be able to help you out there in chat. Krista, Tisdall's here, Alex, Aviation Alex is here, Simony Bob, Rohit Harstreet, hope you're all doing very well. Dante, Paul Emerson, one of the members, been over for 2 years, I remember. Thank you very much, Paul Emerson. Amazing. James says, good evening, Captain, from Cape Town, very nice to see you there. Danny Roball says hi, guys, and MGS1 says hi, Captain, as well. Awesome. So, yes, I was just thinking of what would be just a nice, simple sector, just get back into the live streaming things. And, you know, we've been out and in and out of Heathrow before. We've been in and out of Barcelona, but not between the two. And it's just a nice sector. And there's a VATSIM event on in Barcelona this evening. They don't often come online with VATSIM events, so it was, I thought, a great opportunity to utilise that. And I can see there's a few alpacas joining us, alpaca ways from our flight from London Heathrow to Barcelona. Flight time should be around 1 hour 40 minutes. A little bit of a longer taxi. You'll see me get a little bit lost in Heathrow. Quite unfamiliar with this airport. This is the Aerosoft scenery, sat on the true Orbex scenery as well, so really nice. The weather is absolutely beautiful. 10 degrees, no clouds detected. Absolutely glorious. I haven't seen it so nice and London for some time as well. Anthony's here as well. Good morning, he says. He must be coming in from stateside, or certainly a lot further west than me. Nathan Novak, Mr. N2, I hope you're doing well. Robert Adcock is also in the house, and Base Leg Bob says, good evening, Captain Mariana. Thank you very much. Mariana is in the lounge at the moment. I think she's watching that Twilight or something. I don't know. Anyway, here is the latest version of the ZIBO mod. What are we on here? 347.21, I believe it is. I haven't done a full sector practicing between London and Barcelona. I just haven't had time, but I've made sure all the scenery is working. But I had a quick fly of this when I was recording the Flaps Up landing tutorial, and yeah, it seems to be all working quite nicely. So a bit of a test sector as well, first time flying it. But yeah, lovely weather in Barcelona. We'll take just an extra 30 minutes of fuel just to anticipate any delays, as we could always expect on the VATSIM network. It's good to be great fun indeed. But yes, across the pond next weekend as well. I've actually penciled that in for Saturday. I'll tell you a little bit more about that next week, about what aircraft I'm planning to take. It's going to be quite exciting. Lots to look forward to for sure. Very good tutorial, said Simony Bob. Thank you very much. It was certainly well requested, that one, that's for sure. Anyway, let's jump on into the cockpit of the ZIBO mod, and we'll get the show on the road. So battery can come on. Full cold and dark setup today. GPU's on the bus. Electric hydraulic pumps are on. Landing gear lever is down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights. Then we check all the aircraft documentation. Working our way then here. Let's do the squibs. Now we have 6 green lights. Fault test coming in. Fault APU detector in op. And we'd also verify we've got the master caution with that. Ooh, overheat detector. There we are. And also got the fire warning lights, the engine overheat lights, and the wheel well light as well. Emergency exit lights come on, and let's have a look at our operational flight time. Captain said, last night I dreamed you and Mariana were doing a live face reveal. Yeah, just a dream. My goodness, Captain France. Very interesting to hear you be dreaming about us. Thank you very much for your dream. I don't even know what to say to that. Let's have a look at our flight plan here. Here it is, straight from SimBrief. Heathrow to Barcelona, as I said, hour 40 for the flight time. We need 6.3 tons. Let's take an extra 30 minutes. That's going to be 7.3, 7.5. Hell, let's just go for 7.8. That's going to be 4 wings. 7.8. As I mentioned in the promotion of this stream in social media, we're going to take a full load of passengers, so 180 passengers. Obviously a very popular route with Alpaca Airways. Heathrow to Barcelona and vice versa. So there we go, payload's in, and if we go here, we should have a zero fuel weight. I think it was 58.8. There we are, 58,771. So all looking good. Let's now have a look up here on the overhead panels. So fuel's still coming in, so we won't put the fasten seatbelt sign on now. Test the attend button, check the flap position is up, matching the flap indicator position. We can also do a takeoff conflict warning check. That's looking all hunky-dory. Stab tube cutout switches are in normal. Cargo fire test. 2 fire warning lights forward and after discharge light. There's the warning fire light as well. Again, from the last sector, looks like the squawk wasn't reset to 2000, so I'll blame it on Jim. 2000 standby, rudder and aileron trim 3 and 0. Manual gear extension door is closed. That's a little bit concerning, seems to be a hole in it. You can see the ground below. There's a little bit of light coming through, or a texture issue. Circuit breakers are all in. Up onto the overhead panel. To wait a little bit longer for the stall warning test. There's the flight recorder checked. Mac airspeed warning test is complete. Put that over to VHF1. IRS to nav on DC, then align. Make sure the flaps are working after that tutorial. Yeah, they are. Look, they seem to be. Well, at least the associated panel's working. I haven't planned any failures today. And then we check the circuit breaker panel on the captain's side. Make sure they're all in. There we are. And crash axe installed. PPE safety equipment's installed as well. Perfect. We can now start the boarding. There we go. Many Miles says, I can't say I dream about you, flight deck sim, but I find myself thinking with a British accent now. Oh, why? Well, I'm glad you've not been dreaming about me, that's for sure. Edwin says, hello, I thought the hydraulic pumps switched on after pushback. Now, Edwin, we put the electric hydraulic pumps on during the setup, so pilot monitoring, when he does the walk around, can check for any leaks. It used to be, we used to have the procedure, it's no longer the case at my operator, that you turn the A pumps off for pushback. With a bypass pin installed on the 737NG, it doesn't matter if you leave the pumps on, because that will prevent the nose wheel from moving from the hydraulic system. So it's an old procedure from the classics. There's no need to turn off the pumps at all prior to pushback. Cool, so let's have a look, see if we've got some ATIS here. We do have Tower online. And just a tower, so he's going to be busy, but we have ATIS, frequency is 128075, so let's give that a try, see if it's on voice. There we are, 128075. Ah, we do have it.
Dew point -3,
let's grab the ATIS.
QNH1029. Acknowledge receipt of information November.
Information
and report
November.
Aircraft type and current QNH on first contact with Heathrow.
We will do that.
Heathrow information November. Time 1550 blue. Automatic. Runway in use 09 right. Transition level flight level 70. Surface wind 090 degrees 9 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more, no cloud detected. Temperature +10. Dew point -3. QNH1029. Acknowledge receipt of information November.
Excellent. So
and report aircraft type and current QNH on first contact with Heathrow.
Wilco. We've got information November then. Beautiful day. 09 right. Winds down the runway 9 knots. 10k. No clouds. 10 degrees. QNH is 1029. That is certainly exactly how you want the weather to be. So QNH 1029 should be indicating the elevation, which here in Heathrow, what is the elevation here? I can't remember. 83 feet. Let's have a look here. Yes, that looks close enough. It looks around 80 to 90 feet or so. So we'll put an MFRA of 1,083 feet. There we are. That is now... Oops, so fiddly. There we are, that is now set. Perfect. We'll turn up the lighting a little bit, because by the time we get to Barcelona, it will be, if not sunset, just after sunset. So it'll be a lovely sunset flight and descent into Spain. That's why I chose this time of day. Perfect. So, time UTC 1612, QNH is set, indicating the elevation. 1083 set as well. Lighting's done. Check the seat. Happy with that. Check the oxygen as well, which again, I mean, I don't do it during the... in the sim, because we know I won't need it, but we've already done every single flight, of course. And now we are at the point where we can start loading the flight management computer. So let's bring up the operational flight plan. So there we are, the charts. So, FMC, latest AirX installed, that expires on the 21st of April, so not long. Going from Heathrow today, Echo Golf Lima Lima, and we'll put the GPS left position in. Let me select it, there we go. And we're flying to Barcelona, Lima Echo Bravo Lima LEBL, and flight. Call sign today is going to be Alpaca. What are we today? 5 Charlie November. 5 Charlie November. 5 Charlie November. I went. 4 and departing runway 09 right as advised by ATIS. It'll be a Mod Me Sid for 09 right. So we'll be flying a Mod Me 1 Juliet. From Mod Me, it's going to be Upper Mike 185 now. Thank you very much, Andy M71. One of the members gave me a heads up on this one. For some reason, SimBrief has coded Upper Mike 185, which actually runs in the opposite direction. Mike 185 is the actual SID between, or airway between Modme and Midhurst. So we actually want to go Mike 185. You don't actually have to put an airway in here because Modme and Midhurst, there's no waypoints in between, but that's what the flight plan should be saying, Mike 185, and then Midhurst. So that is done. Then it's Lima 151 to Sitet. Oh, this is a routing I've taken so many times in my career, right across the France. Sitet, up Lima 859 Pumol. It's the same always from the UK going into Barcelona. Has not changed in years. There we are. And it'll be for us today. Now, I think on the event they were sort of suggesting it might be runway 02 today. They've got quite strong forecast winds from the east or from the kind of northeast, so I'm going to think they'll be using 07 left, which is the preferred landing runway in Barcelona with easterly runways, but they might be using 02. But for now, I'll stick with the flight plan, so it'll be ILS 07 left, let's go for Zulu, Puma 1 Yankee, and it is the Sabadell transition. We'll activate that and execute it, just check for any discontinuities, make sure it's all joined up. Page 4, twine it up later. Villafranca, Sabadell, yeah, definitely won't go like that. We want the Villafranca transition then, if there is one. There is, let's do for 1 Echo. Execute. That's looking a little bit more like it. Again, we'll confirm it with ATC when we get a little bit closer, but as a gross error check, let's check the flight plan gross distance here. So we've got a ground distance of 672. FMS says... Now, why is that not coming up on the progress page, I wonder? 0? That looks like it's broken. Distance to Barcelona 0, interesting. I hope that's all coded incorrectly here. Well, I'm not sure why it's saying 0. I'll have to definitely look at that later. Liam Barwick, welcome back as a member. I'm sure he's just doing his renewal thing. Thank you so much for the continued support as a member on the channel. And welcome back, I guess. Thank you. Bjorn, SimBrief chooses a route from the last 5 user-generated routes. There you go. MGS1, how do you easily identify transitions? Now, it's just through kind of experience that I know from Barcelona that you can expect this sort of routing. Actually, it's usually a Sabadell transition via a different Pumel star. And then Zulu Yankee, again, I generally have found in Europe, not always the case, but Zulu is usually the one in use. Again, it's usually when you get the ATIS, they'll confirm which approach you can expect. There we are. Nathan, is Heathrow right outside Barcelona? Brilliant use of the flight data sim Atlas emoji. Fantastic. Mia says, Flight Sim, are you thinking of making Alpaca Airlines into a real airline in real life? No. But it would be cool if I ever had that opportunity to do it there. DC9798, why do the letters E, N, S and W have a white box around them? Now, it's quite funny, someone asked that quite recently.
50,
Obviously, it's
40,
the cardinal points
30,
of the
20,
compass, but
10.
I remember asking a Boeing engineer, he had actually no idea why it was selected. Thank you very much.
I'm big fan of yours, you make great content.
Okay, a little bit of an in-house members joke here. Okay, so last week was my birthday, and Mariana very kindly bought me a cardboard cutout of Julia Roberts. Okay, there's a little bit of a story behind this. I'm quite a big fan of Julia Roberts, always have been, not going to deny it. Mariana's always found it very amusing And now Julia Roberts has obviously heard about Flight Deck Sim and is a massive fan. Who is this? Who was it? Oh, I don't know who this is. Unbelievable, whoever you are. Thank you so much. I guess Julia Roberts, it might be the real thing. Oh yes, it does look like Jeanette's backlisted. Again, I haven't touched anything in Streamlabs. It looks like it's just gone back to Microsoft Jeanette, so Streamlabs is doing its own thing there. I've not touched anything. But yeah, thank you very much, Mrs. Roberts. Very kind. Welcome to Flight Deck Sim. Right, anyway, that's made me blush a little bit. Where did we get to? Yes, we were talking about the progress page. Oh! Well, ZIBO's fixed itself. 688 miles as opposed to 672. That's close enough. I'm happy with a gross error check. Obviously, fuel is saying 0. Oh no, I forgot to call for the fuel truck. There we go. Good job I checked that. Yes, so obviously it's still saying 0 tons because we only have 1,600 kilos on. So that should only take about 5 minutes to get filled up anyway. There we are. Perfect. Good job I checked that. So FMS is loaded at this stage, and well, I'll put the 0 fuel weight in the reserves. I finally worked out on SimBrief how to generate multiple alternates. So at my operator, it generally generates 4 alternates. And it'll put it in ranking, not necessarily commercial ranking, but one which has the least amount of fuel required. And if we need to take if the weather's not great in Barcelona, if it's forecast to be below minimums, we make sure we have fuel for the furthest alternate. So in distance from Barcelona, we have Girona, Valencia, Alicante, Madrid. You can see as we get further away, the fuel increases. But the reserve figure is based off your first alternate, which is Girona, which is very close to Barcelona, just to the northeast. And the reserve fuel figure here is only 1782, so that would have been rounding up my rate, but we'll call it 1.8 tons. Cost index is 30. We'll be cruising at 37,000 feet today, and we'll execute that. Top of climb wind, excuse me, is 018 at 33. Top of climb ISA is 1 degree, and that's as far as I want to get at this stage, because all of the weights and stuff will be based off the gross weight, which is still increasing because we still need to get the aircraft fueled up. So we'll hold it there. Remind me that I need to complete the performance data later. We'll go up here onto the overhead panel. So yaw dampers on, nav transfer, display switches normal on auto, fuel. Only the main tank pumps will be coming on, taking full wing, 7.8 tons there. Jamlin, how do we do multiple alternates? I hope you're doing well, buddy, and we'll think about you as well at this time, so take care. Anyway, to answer your question, all you have to do is on the SimBrief profile where you create your main flight plan, is you scroll down and it says alternates, and you just simply drop it down. You can just select 4. You just simply put the ICAO code in, and it's the exact same format as my operator's OFP with the Lido flight plan, which is pretty cool. Sweet. Right, we've got top climb wind in, which is 018 at 33. The average wind is 354 at 19. Look at this. That's very, very nice weather. I shouldn't expecting any conditions to be lovely to go flying at the moment. For sure, that's for sure. Right, legs route data then. Let's punch in the average wind on the first waypoint after top of climb, which is Deauville. That is going to be 354 at 19. Excellent. So that's now set. So that page is done, and we're going to do the performance once the fueling's done. So fuel pumps are on. We got to that point there. IG disconnect switches are closed. On. GPU's on the bus. Won't put the AP on just yet. Window heat can come on. Probe heat off. This is all set. We just need to wait until the fueling's done.
40,
put the seatbelt sign on.
30,
trim air on.
20,
Packs auto.
10.
So steady. Thank you very much, Alex Crawford.
I keep getting nausea during my instrument flights with foggles on.
Foggles.
Any tips?
Oh, Alex Crawford, foggles, the fog goggles. Do I remember those well? Well, sorry to hear that you've been suffering for a little bit from nausea. That, firstly, to put you a little bit of assurance for you, nausea, it's a mental thing. It's all in your head. You got to forget that, but it's completely normal to feel nauseous. On my flight training course throughout Oxford, we had a guy on our course who really struggled with it initially, to the point where he didn't think he'd be able to do any more training. He's now a captain for an airline in Europe, so there you go. So keep at it. Try, it's the sensation, the balance in your ear, and things like that. Do I have any tips? No, because I've been quite fortunate. I've not suffered from it. I have had one situation where I remember flying as an FO, and I did feel a little bit sick. but it was really rough weather, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I managed to just relax, and it was not a problem. So, but no, I don't really have any tips. Best thing to do is look online, and yeah, just keep at it. You'll be absolutely grand, and good luck with the rest of your training, Alex. You'll be absolutely fine for sure. Very good. Many miles. Your audio is a bit lower than the donation membership announcements. So am I very quiet? Are you saying? I could turn it up slightly. I'll put it up to maximum. I should be a little bit louder now, but let me know, because I'm very reliant on feedback based on the audio and volumes of things. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope you're doing well, Joe. Evening, all waiting for my Class 2 medical. Very good, Joe. I actually think that's your private pilot's license. Very cool. Bjorn Wallstrom, actually a really good point here. Sorry to get sidetracked here, but I'm sure you'd be quite interested to hear about this. Ginger is a magical for general nausea. I 150 million% agree with you, Bjorn. If I have a little bit of a funny stomach, which is effectively not often, but when I have a bit of an iffy tummy, or if I feel a bit nauseous, I drink little ginger beer cans. The little ginger beer cans, I get the ones, I can't remember what the brand are, from the supermarket. There's lots available, but they are very good at settling the stomach, making you feel a little bit better. Absolutely Bjorn, that is as well known. Sounds great now. Thank you very much for the feedback, guys. Appreciate it. Cool. Right, anyway, getting a little bit sidetracked, but no, it's nice to have a chat and interact with you guys for sure, who are talking about these little general points and stuff. So, FMS is loaded. Let's have a look here at the MCP and our SID. So, expecting a ModMe departure today. The ModMe 1 Juliet for 09 right. So, runway QDM is 089 degrees. We'll get that set. Of course, brief our taxi as well. Got 5 minutes until we're due out. So, 089. 089 is set, and for the SID we need initially right turn, and I think it's on a 125 radial from London, but we'll barely be on that radial for long. So 125, and then it's going to be a further right turn, 206 inbound to, I think it's Midhurst. There we are. So we've got our courses set, and we just want 13.6 active on box 1, which it is, and then we'll put Midhurst on box 2, 14.0, and that way we've got something for to follow up raw data there. So let's have a bit of a briefing. Oh, hold on, let me just finish setting up the aircraft first. So flight director's on. SID stop level is 6,000 feet, so it's not big letters anywhere, is it? So it just says 6,000 hard, so we'll set 6,100, minus we don't have the clearance. Looking good. So, water brake to RTO, reset the fuel flow, going back to the EFIS panel, we should have airport selected. And flaps are up, match indicator position, legs on this side, trim we still need to set, and the performance we still need to do. Looks like the fueling's done though, look, 7.8 for the fuel, so we can pop the seatbelt sign on. And we'll get the APU cranked up. There we are, and performance then, I'm just going to go full 22k. I've got no performance data for Heathrow, unfortunately. That should be more than enough for our gross weight, around 66 tons, so we'll go full 22k. Flat 5 for takeoff. CG is going to be 20.7 Mach, and 6 units of trim dialing in now. And the V-speeds are 40, 41 and 47, 147 knots. Cool. I think we're all good to go. We've briefed the... no, I haven't briefed the SIP. We just need to brief taxi and SIP. Let me grab the clearance first, guys. And we'll go from there. So we do have now ATIS. It's still only Tower. Oh, Tower and Approach online. They're going to be very busy.
Back down Alpha Kilo, request taxi, thank you.
Alpha 9 Alpha Kilo, taxi Golf, left Echo, hold Echo 1.
Do we understand 319?
Hold Echo 1, Alpha down Alpha Kilo.
Try and grab our clearance.
Alpaca 57 Lima, give way to the
Busy, guys. It's only one controller on. Controlling clearance ground and tower.
Roger, we'll give way to the 737 and start for shuttle weight 6 Lima.
Negative, that was for someone else entirely. Alpaca 57 Lima.
Oh, carnage.
Shuttle 86 Lima, confirm hold position.
Confirm holding position, Shuttle 86 Lima.
Right, one at a time please, for push and start.
So we'll just wait because there's a few people needing push and start there. So whilst we're just listening, active listening watch there.
20, push and start approved.
Just turn the volume here. We'll just brief everything here. So let's get the EP on the bus as well. So we're going to be taxiing here on stand 319 on Terminal 3, Pier 7. I have no idea who parks here in real life. Definitely not Alpaca Airways. Probably a pushback to face southeast onto Foxtrot. Edge of start point probably here at Foxtrot, or a little hold point here. And then maybe we might go link 35 to Echo 1. But then we'll go on either Bravo or Alpha taxiway. And then onwards to 09 right, and we could take any of the intersections, even November 7, we've got November 8, November 10. We'll just take our type here and make sure we take the correct exit. The SID's going to be then the ModMe, ModMe 1 Juliet 09 right, climb straight out 2 miles from London. We've got D131 Bravo, Bravo representing 2 miles. And it's a right turn intercept London 125 radial till 3.5 miles. So we've got Delta 125 Delta. So 3.5 Delta for 4 miles. That's fine for us. So they're going to be a right turn 161. We're intercepting the 206 radial inbound to Midhurst. And we have 4,000 feet or above at this waypoint here, and above 6,000 as well. But because we've got the 6,000 feet hard at ModMe, VNAV will respect that and it won't climb that altitude. So that's all looking good and all set. So, takeoff page here, for pilot fly, legs page, and all we need to do is get our pushback and clearance. So we'll just connect first.
Ground to flight deck, the tug is driving up.
It's my own voice, I'm so embarrassed. Oh no, as if the sound pack chose my own better pushback voice. Oh, I forgot to delete it. I know why, because I updated it 2 weeks and then I forgot to delete my own voice. Oh no, I'm so embarrassed. Damn it. Oh no, that's really cringe. It's like talking to my long lost twin brother. Jamlin, is there any ZIBO plugin for CPDLC? I'm not sure. That's really embarrassing. Wow, that is cringe, James EP. I know.
50,
Flight
40,
deck exceptions and
30,
Alex.
20.
Oh, Felis. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Felis, the developer of the 747-200. Thanks for £10.
Good and bad news.
Uh-oh.
Started
Okay,
testing
Captain,
at
all doors and hatches are closed.
747
We're
and got
ready
a
to
lot
connect.
of reports.
Uh-oh.
Already fixed most of them, but I need to remake app again.
Ah, the
Too slow
autopilot.
and sluggish.
Oh, Felix, thank you so much for the donation of the £10, and I hope you're doing really well. I've seen some pictures of your aircraft, and the quality of your interior panel looks absolutely awesome. I've seen some of the gauges here. I mean, what an aircraft you've chosen. I know, not exactly single-handedly. I know you're the heart and soul of the project there, but what an incredible aircraft you're making. But I can assure you, Felix, when it'll pay off. If it's anything like your TU-154, once it's released, you'll be rewarded. We're looking forward to promoting the aircraft on this channel as well. So keep it up, Felix. Thank you so much for your donation. And all very confusing at the moment, whilst I keep hearing myself talking to myself. Oh my goodness me, how scary! You might get a face reveal if you actually look at the animated pushback guy. Thank you very much, Felix. Very, very kind of you. And as I said, I hope you're keeping well. Right, let's try and get our clearance now. We went you off a minute ago.
2-1, stand 557, push and start approved, face south.
Push start approved, base south lap.
Heathrow Tower, very good evening. Alpaca 5 Charlie, November, stand 319. Information November, we're 738. Looking for departure clearance to Barcelona.
Alpaca 5 November Charlie, call Heathrow ground 121.7.
121.7, sorry about that. Alpaca 5 Charlie, November, bye.
Don't worry, you just logged on. Break. All stations who aren't taxiing, call Heathrow ground.
Let's get there as soon as possible. Heathrow ground, hello, it's Alpaca 5 Charlie November, stand 319, information November, QNH 1029, departure clearance to Barcelona.
Alpaca 2 Echo November, ModMe 1 Juliet's correct.
Oh, I stepped on someone. That was normal. That was a bit naughty.
Destination 1 third and ModMe 1 Juliet, 7076 November. Ground, good evening, Oman Air 102 with you on stand 237.
Oman Air, beat me to it. Damn it.
1029, requesting clearance please to Muscat.
He's got a lot of flights, he's going all the way to Muscat, won't he? Oman Air?
2, stand by. Alpaca 5, Charlie November, cleared to Barcelona, Mod Me 1 Juliet, squawk 7105.
Clear to Barcelona, Mod Me 1 Juliet, squawk 7105, Alpaca 5 Charlie November.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, read back direct.
Perfect, so we've got our clearance. It's going to be 6,000 feet on the Mod Me 1 Juliet, and the squawk is 7105.
Push start approved, EG23.
Perfect. Put that to out off because we are ready for push to start.
Requesting IFR clearance to Barcelona. Stand by, break, Oman Air 102, you ready to copy?
Perfect. Flight deck to push back. Oh, it's. I know. I can't remember. I recorded it about 3 or 4 months ago, and I downloaded the updated sound pack included with the package. I can't remember the chap that made it, and it was quite cool because it added so many more better pushback sound packs based on your geographical location. So if you're in Finland, you get a Finnish guy. If you're in Hungary, someone from Hungary. And yeah, I deleted mine because I was like, well, that'll be embarrassing. And then I updated about 2 weeks ago because I think there was a little bug where it always, if it played it once, it'd repeat it even if you're at a different airport.
Foxtrot, Echo, right, Alpha, hold November Bravo 11.
Jamlin, dinner calls, have a good flight, Captain. Awesome, Jamlin, take care, buddy. Chad, I hope you push yourself back correctly. You wouldn't want to have to report yourself to management. Brilliant, Chad. Anyway, we're doing okay for time. About 4 minutes late, but we'll request push to start now.
Push behind you, push there, start approved. Speedbird 484 Charlie, A firm, Mod Me 1 Juliet.
I'll try and get in. That's all I'm trying to do, guys. Trying to get on the radio there. Dante, why are the clearances so much shorter in Europe? Yeah, I found in America they like to waffle on a little bit. I'm only joking. Yeah, it's usually just here your SID and your squawk. Somebody even mentioned stop attitude because it is on the chart. So if you're clean on the SID, that's it. That's the way we like it. Well, there's zero chance the door is getting closed if Sam is pushing himself back. Unbelievable. Alpaca 5 Charlie November, stand 319 and request push and start.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, push and start approved.
Push start approved, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. So we'll fake it to face southeast.
Ground to flight deck. Show me where you want to go, please.
Bravo taxi initially at the stand 327, the British Airways off stand.
That is so embarrassing. I wish I'd never done it. He did ask very nicely.
The tug's connected and the bypass pin's installed. Release parking brake.
Shut up, you idiot. Axe off. AP bleeds on, anti-collision lights on, parking brakes released and out off, jets complete. Oh. Look at you guys in chat. Oh no.
We're commencing pushback. Clear to start engines in sequence.
Oh, shut up, you fool. Oh no. Oh, wait, I'm gonna have to write massive letters to delete that afterwards. I'm crying. Anthony, what a prude guy, absolutely. Oh dear.
Correction, shuttle 86 Lima, contact.
That's a very posh tow driver, absolutely. Sounds like you've got a twin. Yep, brilliant. Right, starting engine number 2. Well, at least the weather's really nice.
Speedbird 400, push and start approved. Information, Oscar. Information, Oscar, push start approved.
Flight deck to flight deck, unbelievable.
Alpaca 221, taxi via Charlie. Mike Alpha, hold Hawker.
There's 25%. Spark valve closed, brighten off. So funny. Right, let's mute it.
Evo ground, German cargo 5 Sierra Heavy at stand cargo 6.
So it's come to this, he's talking to himself. Brilliant, thanks, buddy, flight.
German cargo.
That's right, start talking about the weather to change the subject. Absolutely, Matt.
Break Alpaca 221, did you copy? 25 Charlie, right Alpha, hold short Hawker.
Oh dear. Start looking out 122.2463. 2 stable, starting edge number 1. Got Nigel, look at that, how cheeky of that.
Back at TT1, a firm break, speedbird 822, contact Heathrow Tower 118.5, bye bye.
Pushing all over the place there.
Delta Tower 118.5, bye bye.
Oh, pressure. And M1.
Packet 2 Echo November, hold position, break, Alpaca 57 Lima, contact Heathrow Tower 118.5.
Late game fuel in. There we are.
German Air Cargo.
Ground to fly deck, the pushback's complete, set parking brake.
Parking brake set, sir.
Disconnecting the tow, stand by.
I'm standing by.
German Cargo, spotted to get back to me.
Roman is flying deck to say we should make a complete set of pushback voices and do different accent imitations, probably badly. You know, I've got bad. Do one in Birmingham. There you go. Oh, I haven't got any brummies here. Where's Tim? I better stop.
I can't see you at all at the moment. I can't see your flight plan.
Right, disconnecting. Oh, he's only got to do it one more time, hasn't it?
Okay, disconnect and then reconnect and try again.
I know, Joe.
Thank you. Speedbird 822, contact Heathrow Tower 118.5, bye bye. Speedbird 484, Charlie, ready for taxi.
Tow's disconnected, Captain. Bypass pin has been removed. Give your hand signals to the left and we'll see you next time. Have a safe flight. Bye now.
And let's never talk about this again.
Foxtrot, left Echo, right Alpha.
My, oh my. It's definitely a handsome figure though, driving that tug driver. Brilliant, Joe. Yep, good one. Right, there's the bypass pin. Let's do the before taxi flow. Starts discontinuous. Probeat on. Anti-ice off. Pax auto. High station valve auto. AP bleeds off. And set flaps. Nice to have flaps working in the ZIBO mod after that last tutorial. Let's check the flight controls. Full forward, full back, and full left centre, full right centre. Now, unfortunately, my Thrustmaster TCA joystick, the Z-axis for the tiller is completely broken. It has too much noise, so I've had to disable it. So that means I have to resort to using the rudder to taxi, which has been that's why the tiller's moving. It's a great shame because I want to get it fixed or something, but I might not for a reason there. Anyway, that's that done. Recall. Black Maloa DU, and that's it, check's complete, and as soon as Nigel's on the way, we'll request taxi.
After the Alpaca 738 behind you, taxied away, push and start through, face to the south.
Charles, you've convinced me, you're actually a tug driver, absolutely.
23, left on link 33, right Alpha.
Smith, what is the face reveal? Brilliant.
Left on link 33, right Alpha, hold Hawk.
So I'm going to probably make a right onto Bravo. I'm not going to ask for clearance until he's asked to do it, because there's no point. And I forget Heathrow has the have names for everything, don't they? Sort of Oster, Hawker.
Left Delta, right Alpha, hold Hawker.
I think that's the guy. So yeah, he got. Yeah, that's him. So we'll request taxi now.
Italia to the Golf 7410 request.
Day simulations. I haven't stopped live for past 5 minutes. Unbelievable.
TT Golf.
Only please check the pressurization model. I didn't set it, did I? I did not set that. Oh my goodness me! I even knew it when you said that because what did I get distracted by? Was it the tug driver? I think it might have been the tug driver. Very well spotted. Now, if you did actually forget to do that, you first check at 10,000 feet. Shouldn't make much difference, but it could affect the pressurization schedule. So yeah, it's very important to check that. I know what's coming in chat, that's for sure. What's the elevation in Barcelona?
Charlie, follow the company, 321 ahead, hold at Dasso.
What am I doing here? Yeah, that's very well spotted. And the elevation in Barcelona is sea level, so we'll put that at 0. Yeah, I think we got distracted by my own voice. But very well spotted, very well spotted. Alpaca 5, Charlie November, request taxi.
Shuttle 1 X-ray, Heathrow down Gaffney, taxi Alpha, stand 506. Alpha 506.
Brilliant trolls, fantastic.
Alpaca to Echo November. After the second Alpaca 737's gone behind, push and start approved. Face to the
Alpacas in,
southeast.
Heathrow everywhere. Look, Nigel taking off, Nigel taxiing. No, is that all the way from Japan? No comment. Oh no, it's Total. I thought they were a petrol station company.
Contact Heathrow Tower 118.5.
Oh,
Bye
fair
bye.
enough. They branched out.
048 Charlie Tower 118.5. Bye bye.
We're getting on our way, guys, I promise.
48 Charlie.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, request taxi.
Speedbird 12 Alpha Whiskey, give way to the British Airways A320 on Bravo, and then continue taxi. Easy 23, hold short at Echo.
Easy's here.
Hold short at Echo, easy 23.
Packet 221, thank you. Tower 118.5, bye bye.
Tower 118.5, thanks for the entry there.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, sorry, was that you ready? Look off 7410, request push and start.
AFIR.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, roger, taxi Foxtrot, right Alpha, initially hold short at Echo.
Foxtrot right at Alpha and hold short at Echo. Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Perfect. So Foxtrot right on Alpha and then hold short on Echo.
Alpaca 6 Mike Whiskey, clear to Barcelona.
Foxtrot
Monty 1 Juliet,
right at
score
Alpha.
5250.
Where is Echo?
Clear to Barcelona, Monty 1 Juliet, score 5250, and also request push and start, please. Alpaca 6 Mike Whiskey.
You say Foxtrot right at Alpha and hold short at Echo, but I cannot see Echo.
Push and start approved, Alpaca 6 Mike Whiskey, thanks.
I can see Hawker, and he said initially hold short of Echo. Charlie Delta 8, this could be Echo. Interesting. I'm not sure about the taxi clearance. Well, we'll start taxiing this way here, and I'll try and locate it.
Easy 23, continue taxi on
We'll
Alpha.
start moving. We shouldn't be moving into like a fair ATC.
Speedbird 484 Charlie, contact Heathrow Tower
There's conflict
118.5,
checks.
bye bye.
So Foxtrot right at Alpha, hold short of Echo, and Echo is left of Foxtrot.
Confirm squawk 3373.
Oh, so, okay, got you. So this is Echo, got you, Delta Echo. That's not very clear at all. Got you. So straight on, second right Alpha, and there's Echo. You've got Echo 1, but I can't see. They should be a little E here.
Speedbird 12
Again,
Whiskey, thank you.
it's
Continue
Jeffy
taxi
charts.
Left Delta, right Alpha, hold short Hawker.
But he said Foxtrot Alpha, and then hold short of Echo. So it's a little bit unclear. So obviously Echo, if I make a right turn here, then I'm holding short of Echo, but we're going all the way down there. Oh,
Speedbird
sorry,
24
the runners now.
Alpha,
Attention
the
to
company traffic just about to park on stand 506. Once they're parked,
there you are.
push
The
up
Echo
through
is to the
Lakeside.
north. Okay,
Parts
got
at
you.
506, push
I'm
start,
happy
free
now.
face south, Speedbird 2 for Alpha.
That's why I never come to
Speedbird
Heathrow.
12 Alpha Whiskey, give way to the EasyJet 738 on Alpha.
So it looks like Norwegian's on his way.
Easy 23, contact Heathrow Tower 118.5.
We are clear right
Contact Tower 118.
and clear left. But yeah, this is, you guys are much more familiar with Heathrow than me. So, you know,
Alpaca to Echo November, caution, the United 739 push on your
you
left.
see when I had the chart zoomed in there, it's very hard to tell where Echo was. But I kind of saw Charlie Delta and I was like, why is that not saying Echo? Oh, it's because it's up there. That makes sense, perfect. Right, oh, I'm so not used to having the rudder to taxi. I miss having the tiller. Perfect, so technique's right, and then, yep, we just need to hold short of the next taxiway, which is Echo. Oh, yeah, tiller's not working.
With them inside,
Try and twist the joystick.
Okay, after the traffic is pushed
There we go.
clear, pushes are approved, stand by 12, Speedbird 684.
Speedbird 684, you should be able to push at the same time, and then you're separated by 3 stands there.
Right, thank you, 684.
Blame Jefferson Charles on the bingo board today.
Name the ground,
Unbelievable.
German Cargo 5 Sierra, requesting taxi, please.
German Cargo
It's been
5
interesting
Sierra,
stream so
Roger,
far.
taxi,
I've heard
hold
myself.
Sierra 11.
Got lost.
Taxi 0.011,
What else
runway
happened?
09 rates, German Cargo 5 Sierra, happy.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November holding at Echo.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, thank you. Continue taxi, hold at Hawker.
Continue taxi and hold at Hawker. Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Hawker. Love it. Right, let's carry on.
A minute. Alpaca 16 Lima Bravo. After the Oman Air 787, passenger left to right. Join Alpha, hold at Hawker.
I had unbelievable though. Yes, unbelievable. I think it's been ticked off a few times today.
Back 5 Charlie November, give way to the company 737 joining from Delta, then continue taxi.
Give way to the company traffic, joining via Delta, continue taxi up back at 5 Charlie November. Excellent, so we've got a colleague getting in front of us.
118.5, bye bye.
Oh, was that for me as well?
Ground 2190,
He's got,
Oman Air 102, contact Heathrow Tower 118.
he's got a very loud, better pushback tuck there.
Tower 1185, Oman Air 102, thanks for the service.
Heathrow 1 Alpha Whiskey, if you're still with me, over to Tower 118.5, bye bye.
It's on whiskey. Listen, why not use the racing wheel as a tiller? Yeah, massive wheel, I could put it on the side of me. Someone actually suggested that. Anyway, we're giving way to our colleagues.
You're waiting Instructor 70 with you on Bravo and heading parking in Terminal 2. Bearings 2027. Roger, continue on Bravo. Right on
There we
Lima.
are. So it looks like we're number 4
right
here.
Bravo.
This controller's
Right
very,
Kilo. Stand 213.
very proficient.
Right Lima, right Bravo, and then right Kilo. 237, stand 216.
Beautiful.
15 grab ready taxi.
So we're just going to be careful here because our clearance limit is Hawker,
Go to Echo November, taxi via Foxtrot. Right,
which is just after
Alpha,
Charlie.
Hawker.
So just after Hawker's around here.
Give the Chief Alpha ready taxi. United 2190, follow the Alpaca 737 ahead of you. Right,
Two does love getting lost at Heathrow. Definitely want to avoid Chicago during an overload event at 2 tons. Absolutely. Now, funny enough, sounds like obviously I get lost, just could locate Echo in the chart. But I have had it before, and actually, bizarrely, where we're going, Barcelona is somewhere where you could be very unsure of your position. And the taxiway is quite complex there, especially from Terminal 2 or the main terminal in the central there. If you're having to taxi to 07 or 25, it's a long taxi. There's multiple options you can take. Another airport that's quite confusing is Copenhagen. We also went to quite recently, just north of the runways before the main terminal. There's quite a few turns there, and it's not very clear. Manchester as well. It's a common issue. Just got to make sure before you actually start moving, like I did today's stream. You're absolutely 100% sure where you are and where you are going. Not an issue asking ATC.
Tower 118.5.
At Tower 118.5, Alpaca 5 Charlie November 8C. There we are, over to Tower. He's done a great job, that controller. Very proficient.
Alpaca 16 Lima Bravo, Heathrow. Alpaca 16 Lima Bravo, Heathrow.
Madrid as well, yeah. 2 does that, absolutely.
On link 51, left all the way down via link 53.
Tudor, have you ever been to Lima Romeo Charlie Lima? I don't even know where that is, Tudor. Danny, do you find Schiphol complicated? Actually, Schiphol has quite a nice system where, I can't remember which way it is, but Alpha's clockwise, Bravo's anti-clockwise. So that actually works really well. To be fair, Barcelona, I've been there quite a few times, so once you've been there a few times and you're familiar with it, it does become much easier. Right, anyway, here's clearance limit. It looks like they're taking people either right and then left. We'll hold short here at Hawker, which is our clearance limit. Oh look, there's actually loads of aircraft ready for departure, but there we are, we can't go any further than Hawker.
Heathrow Tower, German Cargo 5 Sierra Heavy, holding at Sierra 11, request ready for departure.
German Cargo 5 Sierra Heathrow, hello. It'll be at least a few minutes delay, I'm not sure how long it is at the moment.
Roger, German Cargo 5 Sierra.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, Heathrow.
Hello, holding at Hawker, Alpaca 5 Charlie November.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November to Roger, taxi straight ahead, Alpha, and link 52, hold November Bravo 11.
Straight ahead, hold at November Bravo 11, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. So...
Alpaca 16 Lima Bravo, hold short of Yankee.
So there's Hawker.
Stupid 400, 40, factor 119,
Where is November Bravo 11? So it's going to be... He said taxi straight ahead for us, so it's a little bit of a shortcut. Alpaca 5 Charlie November, sorry, just confirm we can go straight ahead on Alpha to November Bravo 11.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November,
thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It said Alpha Lima 52.
No, if you're going down to Barcelona, they would impose a minimum departure interval, so I can then launch you every 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
Ah, no problem. Perfect. So, again, that was a bit of a, you know, always make sure, you always make sure, it's so natural to follow people. You want to make sure you've definitely got the correct clearance here as well. So in that case, you know, everyone seems to be going right and then left, but we've actually been cleared all the way to November Bravo 1-1, but this time via Alpha.
Right, they're taking off British Airways CRJ, line up on my runway 09, right behind German Cargo 5 Sierra Heavy.
Hi Captain Jack, hope you're doing well. He says, I haven't joined a stream in a while. Well, here we are, thank you very much for popping in. Actually, it's been one of the longest gaps without streaming for a while because we're off at the moment. So, yeah, it was a week ago today we were last streaming.
Back at 2 Echo November Heathrow.
2 sectors, we did Newcastle, Brussels, Norwich, and then I was hoping to do some in between, but it's just got so busy just doing some things, because the lockdown's partially ended in the UK. We can actually go out and about.
Are you able to take a right turn on the Yankee?
Enjoying that.
Hey, sir. 224 Alpha, Roger, taxi Yankee, hold Hanley.
Yankee hold Yankee, was it?
Hold Hanley.
Hanley.
Over 684 Heathrow, low. In fact, hold at Dasso for now, I'll get you clear for the main.
Like you're in a hot air.
Okay, hold on. Over now, 102, call Heathrow Director 119725, bye-bye. Heathrow Director 119725, over now, 102.
So we've got a director on
With 48 Charlie, Heathrow Director 119725, bye-bye.
Put that on standby.
119725.
Excellent.
48 Charlie.
So it looks like, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially number 5 for departure, maybe number 4.
Morning, say again.
Got a little bit of a gridlock here, and they're.
Back at 2 Echo November, Roger, hold.
I think they're only using one runway, so I think that's how they're working at Heathrow at the moment, only using one runway at a time. And 2 tons, I love you spotted an Aero Logic. I didn't see it. Oh yes, probably number 6 maybe for departure. There is the Aero Logic 777. Andy, the that's a map looks cool. The Alpaca Conga line has started. Excellent, Andy. And actually, I got tweeted by VATSIM Spain today, who promoted this event. So they tagged me in the event. I said the alpacas are coming. Just need to complete the before takeoff checklist, which I'll do once we come stationary again.
Cargo 5 Sierra 909 right, clear takeoff wind variable 5 knots.
I guess the mystery could be Robert, as far as I know, Heathrow's T1 due to COVID. Yeah, I think a lot of the airports around Europe have really, obviously, capacity is nowhere near being utilised. I think they've shut all the terminals. I did, you know, well, I say worryingly read, even though Heathrow is probably getting, what, I don't even think 1% of the normal traffic they do, the amount of time that people are having to wait who are travelling into Heathrow at the moment due to the requirement to get their COVID test checked or get a COVID test, it's around 3 to 6 hours. So if you arrive into Heathrow, and there's around something like 15,000 people a day coming in at the moment, they're obviously only for essential reasons, they're having to wait 3 to 6 hours. So if they do open things up, which I hope they do, for the sake of the future of the aviation industry, they've got to work out a way of catering for all these COVID test requirements. It's going to be interesting. Right, so let's do the. I feel a little bit guilty here because this guy was actually taxiing ahead of us there. Uh-oh, someone's got a stuck mic.
German Cargo 5
This guy, I feel a bit guilty because this guy was ahead. And maybe even Nigel was.
725, thank you very much for the service, goodbye, German Cargo 5 Sierra Heavy.
EG23 behind the departing British Airways, goes now for safety 20, line up from 809 right.
Right, we'll hold it here, just see what it says. But we were cleared all the way to November Bravo. You better walk to your destination then, unbelievable. Andrew, well, I'm going to leave the channel now. I don't feel like I should be here. Oh, unbelievable, Andrew, that's not very nice. What have I done?
Alpaca 2 Echo November, taxi right, link 54, left on link 53, then hold short.
Adrian, nice to catch your stream again. Customers at Heathrow. Yes, this is Aerosoft's scenery.
Alpaca 2 Echo November, right, then left via link 53 to hold short of Yankee.
Right, I'm just going to hold position here, just see what it says. Everyone's giving way to everyone. Yes, here's the Aerosoft scenery. Looks very nice. Not too bad, very soft. I wish they just kept things all up to date. I think some of it's need updating. They do at some of their airports, that's for sure.
IBA 3163, Heathrow, hello, confirm November 58.
Everyone's giving way to everyone. Right, well, whilst we're waiting, we'll do the before takeoff checklist.
Yeah, alright, it will just be 2 minutes while I get these guys in sequence and then I'll get
So config, we checked flaps, we have 5 green lights, stab trim set for departure, 6
Bluebird
units
484
set.
Charlie 9 right cleared, take off this and...
6 days going to be the Mod Boeing 1 Juliet, there it is here, all charted. Straight ahead, 3.5 miles, sorry, straight ahead, 2 miles, right turn 3.5 from London, and then a further right turn, and then we're flying at 206.
And Alpaca 5 Charlie November behind, departing EasyJet Boeing 737, line up runway 09 right behind.
Behind departing EasyJet 737, line point behind Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Did he say EasyJet 737? Bit confused. I'm guessing that's what he's in, which is why it comes up as total petrol station. Okay, fair enough. So that's the SIG complete, stop altitude 6,000 feet, set in the MCP. It's very busy here in London. Just make sure we get over to direct with the right frequency, and we'll stop at 6,000. That's
Alpaca
it.
16 Lima Bravo, give way to the company 737.
I feel bad because he was taxing ahead of me, I
Yankee
think.
hold November Bravo 11.
Anyway, check's complete. Don't till it's not working. What is wrong with it?
Bravo, link 51, hold
So I'll clear to line up and wait behind the EasyJet, so as soon as he starts rolling, we'll line up straight away afterwards. Make sure we're fully ready for ATC. Got an Alitalia 777 coming up as well, so we can't go all the way to November Bravo 11. They'll be using November 11 if it was catch-up
Charlie, Cortese corrector 109.725, bye-bye.
Then are you doing cross the pond? Yes. I'm planning on doing it. There we are. Frank, Santa Fe, replaced flight, Malta, Canaries, some of my favourite destinations. Like going to Spain like we are now. Nice hour-and-a-half sector as well, there and back. Palma de Mallorca. Anywhere where there's no thunderstorms forecast or strong winds. Basically. Perfect.
Good evening, Alitalia to Golf, holding at Sierra 1.
Alitalia 2 to Golf Heathrow, hello, hold at Sierra 11.
And here, I'm not a real pilot, so asking a question, can you cancel landings if a lot of planes want to take off?
Yankee hold November
No,
Bravo 11.
I mean, I'm not a controller, so I don't have to worry about those sort of sequencing of things, but no, it's the priority to get people on the ground before departures.
Easy 23, runway 09 right, cleared takeoff, surface wind variable, 5 knots.
But ATC are trained, and the same with the VATSIM control as well. They manage the capacity to get as many departures and arrivals in as possible. I think they're running single runway ups. Well, I don't know, I haven't seen anyone approaching this runway, but anyway, as soon as he's rolling, we have been cleared to line up and wait, so off we go. Lights on, taxi light off to remind us we haven't got our takeoff clearance. Strobes on, LNAV, auto throttle, transponder to TARA, and the weather radar is on. So MCP is set, transponder TARA, strobe lights are on, just waiting for our takeoff clearance. We'd also confirm the reback with pilot monitoring, make sure we have been cleared to line up in this case, which we have been. Also an Iberia, is that an A330? All sorts here in Heathrow. Last time we were here was actually in Concorde. We flew from Barbados into Heathrow about
Alitalia 5 Charlie, pushing Alitalia 2 to Golf, behind departing Alpaca Boeing 737, line up from 809 right behind.
Behind Alpaca departing, line up and wait behind, Alitalia to Golf.
Cool. So pointing in the right direction. You usually set the parking brake in the sim, it's very easy to disengage. Parking ahead of us. Yes, they are single runway up. Thanks, Blake 99.
Easy 23 call Heathrow Director 109725, bye-bye.
Nice bit of queue jumping there, pass. I know, I feel guilty. Oh, I can't wait, guys, to get my racing seat tomorrow. I bought a racing seat first of Assetto course and some racing and some more streaming there. I cannot wait. I'm going to set it up tomorrow afternoon. Excellent. Well, an hour, a minute, hour into the stream not taking off. That's quite usual when it's very busy, so thank you all very much for your patience as well. Flight time about an hour and a half with no delays. I'm looking forward to this sector enjoying the sunsets.
IBA 2168, then...
Bradley, yeah, someone cleared to land at 9 left, perfect. Yeah, I should think they're having to.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November,
Let's do it.
runway 099, clear takeoff, wind variable 5 knots.
09 right, clear takeoff, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Right, parking brake
Alpaca
released.
2 Golf,
There you
there'll be
go,
a
ladies and
warning,
gentlemen.
departure ahead
Timer,
of you.
let's go to Barcelona. 40% end of 1, Toga's in chance.
We're cool.
We're on our way. So engine stabilised, push Toga, set takeoff thrust. Light full pressure on the control column for 90.6. Takeoff thrust is set, indications normal. Check to release forward pressure.
V1, rotate.
And up we go. 2.5 degrees per second. And we're airborne. Onto the flight directors.
Positive rate.
Gears coming up. There we are. And trim.
400.
LNAV.
For the 18 Echo, you're going to look like sort of right Q jump here, but usually the only one that got taxi via link 53. Alpha, hold November Bravo 10.
1,000.
There's 1,000 feet. We can bug up. And there's the 2 mile point from London. Make a right turn now.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, call Echo 119.725, bye-bye.
119725, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Thanks to the exit 8, see you soon. Bye bye. Perfect. Fab 1. That guy was excellent. Brilliant easy. And there's the 1 bug. Select flaps up. Heathrow Director, good evening. It's Alpaca 5 Charlie November, Mod Boeing 1 Juliet, passing 2,500 for altitude 6,000 feet. Sorry, Alpaca 5 Charlie November, that was unreadable.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, maintain 3,000 feet.
Maintain 6,000 feet, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. He was very quiet. Let me just get the automation in here, because I can barely hear this guy. Command A, vertical speed. Crank that volume up. There we are. And we can accelerate to 250 knots, first turn's complete. And we have flaps up, no lights. And approaching 1 to go, 1,000 feet per minute. Let's do the after takeoff checklist. So, gears off. Water brake is off. And start switches are also off. Air conditioning and pressurization 2.0. And that's climbing.
EZ23 route direct.
And that is set.
Say again, EZ23.
Recall.
EZ23 route direct, sit at. Route direct, sit at EZ23. 5 Charlie November, climb flight level 170.
Climb flight level 170, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. That's much louder now. Perfect. So, 170 is set. Set standard, VNAV, and we've got outed event to push. There we are. Passing 5-1, flight level 170, and that's it. After takeoff checklist is already complete. And looking good. Onwards and upwards. Turn the sim down slightly. There we are. That's a little bit better. Cool. On our way. Yeah, that was well handled with the controller. I mean, just with one ground controller and tower, and no one obviously directors online as well, which increases capacity. But tower can usually just hand you over to Unicom. Yeah, we're on our way. Not bad, you know. And airborne for after 1 hour of that amount of traffic. Can't complain. Tom C over France now. Excellent. I guess you're on the same sector. He's doing the ATC from a library, says John Panfield. Just imagine. These excellent views for the passengers. Orbex TrueF is... I'm so happy I switched it from the Ortho. It looks amazing. Turn the exterior volume down, but have a quick look outside. Also over London. South of London now. There's Heathrow. London's there.
Unicom 122.8, EZ23, goodbye.
Sweet. James says, smash the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Thank you so much, James. Yes, if you are enjoying watching 737
Alpaca
Captain.
5, Charlie November, sit it.
Address sit at Alpaca 5, Charlie November. If you are enjoying watching a 737 Captain streaming in XP 11, has that been down? I can't believe it. 4 years this channel is amazing, but don't forget to smash the button. Thumbs up button, thanks. Right, direct sit at execute. LNAV's available, LNAV's engaged, and passing 105.170. Let's do the pre-cruise check. So, fuel 4 pumps, and we have, what's that there? 9 on board, balanced. Lights coming off. APU's off. Pressurization is 4.0. Climate is 370 today, and that is set. And we'll need seatbelt sign on. So that's what we're doing at the moment with the COVID-19 pandemic. Recall checks complete. Belk Assem says a quick explanation of VNAV. A quick explanation. It's one of the most complex and not completely understood systems going. It always does its own thing. But generally what VNAV is, it's a system that utilises the FMS, and the FMS you can program the flight management computer, and you give all the information it needs, height you're cruising, the winds, temperatures, and in climb, for example, it'll calculate the most optimal speed based on all these variables, which today is 290 knots. And that's what it'll do in climb, very simple. It'll set N1 VNAV speed to pitch for the speed set in the FMS. For descent, there's lots of different VNAV options available from different operators. What ZIBO models is the VNAV idle path descent model, which is the same as my operator has. There's VNAV geometric path options with VNAV out and all sorts of funky things which I don't know much about. But essentially what VNAV does in descent, it'll calculate backwards from a certain restriction where you need to be at top of descent point to work out where to start its descent, to go idle thrust and descend on a path to maintain a target speed of idle thrust based on whatever restriction you have coming up there. And it will satisfy those restrictions, but it won't give much care about speed, so you have to ensure the speed stays within limits. Add thrust as required, add drag if needed as well. But otherwise it's quite good. But I haven't done a detailed tutorial on it because there's so much to it, and the ZIBO mod is excellent. It's one of the best simulated aircraft at following an idle path descent profile. But there's some subtle differences between how it works in the real aircraft. But overall, it's very good and representative of how the system works. Right, anyway, there's vertical speed. We've got 1,000 feet to go.
1,000 to go.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, Unicom 122.8.
122.8 Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Thanks to ATC Bicep. I think that guy had a few headset issues there. Anyway, we're over on Unicom, no ATC, so that means we are responsible for our climb. So we're going to go all the way up to 370, which is our cruise, which is what you'd get if it was very quiet in London anyway. So that's set. We'll select VNAV again, and we'll verify how set VNAV set 370 here on the altitude panel. On the overhead panel, 370 set on the MCP, and lastly in the FMS as well. And 21.5 is active on standby. You could write a book on VNAV, absolutely. Absolutely. Said Icefire. Judy says, can you please turn off the no smoking signs because I need a ciggy. Unbelievable. Umar says, hey Captain, what happens when you miss a slot at the runway sequence? Even out buffers. I'm not sure what you mean by that last bit, but very good question. A slot is basically a calculated takeoff time, and you need to be airborne from 5 minutes before to 10 minutes after of that time. And when you're assigned a slot, it's your job to ensure that you push back in time to be within this 15-minute window of your slot, 5 minutes before, 10 minutes after. If you see that you're going to be late and you're not going to pass it, you've got to advise ATC. Now sometimes, if you're lucky, they can alter the flight plan, which might even cancel the slot, but technically, yeah, you can't go a minute after that. I've had it once before where we pushed back, all looking good, and then an aircraft in front of us had a technical problem. I had to return to stand, and it was a turboprop airline, no longer with us unfortunately, but yes, they had an engine issue they reported, and you just need to return to stand, which made us miss our slot. So unfortunately, because there were a huge amount of delays that day, we were already running an hour late on stand because they wouldn't let us go with this slot. even though we're only about 5 minutes late, we missed the slot, they calculated a new slot, it was 2 hours afterwards, and we're like, well, we can't sit here the whole point burning fuel. We took a little bit of extra fuel to cater for that, but not enough to sit there with the aircraft with the engines running. We couldn't even taxi to a remote part of the airport with the engines running because this airport doesn't have the capacity for that, so we actually had to return to stand. As soon as we got back onto stand, the slot came back by an hour, and then we had to wait another 45 minutes. So yeah, depending on where you are, what the reason for the slot is, it's nothing to do with the airline. It's from Eurocontrol. I believe they control it all by doing slots, but the slot could be due to, say, capacity issues at your destination, en route capacity issues in the airspace, could be weather disruption, loads of different reasons, but we have to ensure that we respect it and we're able 15 minutes either side. But we really need a controller to give you more information about it. I'm just giving it from our perspective. Listen, what if you're taxiing way quicker and you're there earlier than your slot, then you have to wait? But that's the idea of timing your pushback. You know, you're not going to push back an hour before your slot. But the thing is, slots change all the time. They can come back. So if you've got a 2 hour slot, it can become a 1 hour slot. They can go the other way, it could become 2 hours, but generally they get better. So if you have a 2 hour slot, become 1 hour slot, and then all of a sudden they can be cancelled. They can actually go, yeah, slot's cancelled. So you want to be in a position where you're on stand with a slot, ready to push back if you can. But again, when it's really busy, there's not always enough tug drivers going around or tugs. So what might happen is, it's very frustrating, but you have a tug driver waiting saying, look, I've got to go in 15 minutes because I've got another aircraft to push back, and you have to go, yeah, no problem, our slot's in an hour, can you be back there? As soon as he disconnects the tug and goes off, the slot comes back. That's just those decisions we have to make as crew and liaise with ground crew and all sorts. There's a lot of a bigger picture when it's very busy like that, so there you go. A bodybuilder muscle champ said passengers not quickly seated enough. Also true. I mean, there's a point at which, you know, if the slot's over 2 hours, we're not going to expect you to stay there seated with your seatbelt sign on. If the delay is in excess of 3 hours, we'll consider deboarding the plane to get you to wait in the terminal. But that will be widespread disruption. We don't want you sat on the aircraft on the ground for huge periods of time. For obvious reasons, are uncomfortable. If you have an APU inoperative especially, that's, yeah, we're not going to keep you on the plane there. I had it once before, a year ago or so. The aircraft landed, and sometimes the airline runs quite tight schedule, so the aircraft lands. If it's running around 15 minutes late, what they'll actually do is get the passengers ready to board. They'll even put them on the air bridge ready to go. So as soon as all the last passengers are off, they can start boarding. I had it once. The passengers were coming to the aircraft. The crew landed, and fortunately they'd had a bird strike. So the airport, trying to be a little bit proficient, had gotten all the passengers waited ready to board this aircraft. So as soon as all the passengers off, the crew off, captain came down, met him, said, really sorry guys, we've had a bird strike, and it looks like it's done some damage, and actually dented the leading edge device of the wing. So if you have any dent or damage like that, you're AOG, you can't go anywhere. So I had to ring up the operations department and said, look guys, we're AOG, we can't go there. And so there's no point putting the passengers on the plane. And I spoke to the engineers, said, can you get this fixed? Said, no, this isn't getting fixed in hours. So I had to make a decision, said, look to the airport, get these passengers back in the terminal. You know, I'm not going to board them on an aircraft that's AOG for, you know, it's no point. So yeah, frustrating for the passengers, absolutely, because you're out to board an aircraft you're already running a bit late as well, and they're told to go back into passengers. And we had to wait 3 hours for a spare aircraft because there was no spare aircraft in the base, and the leading edge, it had a whopping great big dent in it. I've got a picture of it. You know, I don't know what they'd hit, but I remember it was just on the left wing around here, and I know it was the size of your fist, you know. It was giving it a good old whack. I don't know what they'd hit, but it was a large bird. But yeah, these things happen, and what can you do? Anyway, bit of a story time. Alex Crawford, do you think you could do a series on in-depth flight planning? Interesting request. I do have... It's not in-depth, but I do have an overview of the SimBrief operational Lido flight plan format. It doesn't go into much detail about the flight planning side of things, what we do at the planning stage. I mean, essentially an airline will have a flight planning department which generates the flight plan, sends it to you. Our job is to check it, decide on the alternates if we want to change them and things like that. Now, I will find the flight plan tutorial for you, because I think find it quite useful and interesting. That's the beauty of Simbrief flight plans, now obviously owned and operated by Navigraph. They're very good. They're based off the Lido format. They're pretty much identical to our flight plans, which is why I've always used Simbrief with the Lido format. So anyway, I've got the video for you, Alex. I'll pop it in here. There you are. So yeah, guys, go check that out if you want to learn a little bit more about the Lido operational flight plan. Cool. So approaching 30,000 feet, we'll pop the bank angle to 10 degrees. We're approaching Etrat. We should be approaching 370 just before Deauville. This is a site I have seen many times crossing the channel here. There we are. But there's no wind. Oh look, we've got aircraft below us as well on our way to Barcelona. Hopefully we'll get some 80. Well, Barcelona have an event here. Oh my god, look at this climb. Is that the wind changing in the sim? Oh my goodness me. I think it must have been the tailwind increasing quickly. There we are. Anyway, bank angle is 10. Very cool. Fraser, how long does it take you to become an airline pilot after day one? That, Fraser, depends on what course or track you take, getting your frozen ATPL or your CPL and instrument rating. I mean, you can do it as quickly as, with 0 hours experience, doing an integrated course, it would take 14 to 18 months, I think, based on some perhaps delays and things like that. And you could then walk straight into an interview from leaving there. So yeah, you could go from 0 hours to being in the right-hand seat of an aircraft like the 737 reasonably within a year and a half, 2 years. Now in the US, a little bit different because there's an FAA requirement to have 1,500 hours before you can operate. I don't know what the exact operation requirements are, what you can operate. A jet like the 73, you need 1,500 hours, not the requirement in Europe. So I walked into the right-hand seat of the 737 with about 300 hours flying experience. And now I have around... Well, I'm a bit guilty because I have an electronic logbook, which I do keep up to date, but my paper logbook is still... I've got months and months to fill in to do it. I just can't bring myself around to do it. But approaching 5,000 hours, actual flight hours. Prince, you actually sounded much younger in that video. Really? I mean, that video is what? 3-4 years old now. Crazy. Speedbird said we had the same problem in Murcia a few years ago. Bird strike on final. We had to wait for an engineer to drive from Alicante to take a look. Absolutely, yeah. We can have an assessment as it as flight crew, but if I've got any damage whatsoever or any dent, I'm not releasing that aircraft without an engineer either looking at a picture of it or certainly looking at it from a picture there. But you know, any dents or dinks or damage have to be inspected first before the aircraft can be released. I hit Big Bird. Yes. Long by name said, flying data sim, I nearly had a bird strike down my flying lesson, clocked the bird and pray at last
50,
minute. I was 1,700 feet, scared the living hell out of me. Absolutely,
20,
yeah, you don't want to hit a light
10.
aircraft. Luigi, what is that? Mexican dollars, thank you. I don't know how much.
Hey Captain, I was able to get back home on time for the stream after today's early flight.
Thank you.
At work, the patatas bravas are on me once we get to Barcelona.
Thank you very much. I don't know much about Mexican dollars, and you're one of my newest members as well, Luigi, but that seems very generous of you. Thank you for the 200 Mexican dollars. The patatas bravas are on me once we get to Barcelona. I look forward to the tapas, Luigi. We'll go straight to the tapas bar. We'll open up get some sangria on tap as well. Thank you very much, Luigi. It's very kind, and I hope you had a pleasant day at work. And thank you very much for the donation. That's very kind. Thank you. Tom C, you doing real time? Yes, real time. And live weather at the moment as well, and it's 17:21 UTC, so 18, we'll just change hours, 18:22 British summer time. Remember, the clocks move an hour forward in the UK here. For the rest of most of Europe, so France, Spain, you add 2 hours to this time for local time as well. So right now in Barcelona, the local time will be 7:22 in the evening then. So very, very kind. Wycon, you're going to give us a cruise briefing. We don't really do any briefings for the cruise. The cruise is the low work phase, so we simply check fuel each 30 minutes away points, obviously the weather ahead, and then we're around 150 miles from top of descent. We'd start setting up and then we'll complete the approach briefing afterwards as well.
1,000 to go.
That's checked. Aditya Elvis Presley fan channel says, is an aircraft allowed to operate if the auto throttle is inop? Absolutely. The 737 can dispatch with an inoperative auto throttle. I've done it on a few occasions. I've probably seen 2 or 3 times in my entire career. I've done it as a captain last year. Workload's a little bit higher, but honestly, it's not a big deal. You just set your thrust as required. You generally use level change as well. You can use VNAV in descent, and you just set the thrust manually. It really isn't a big thing, but you have to understand that you can no longer fly an auto land.
50,
We don't have
40,
auto
30,
lands without
20,
auto throttle.
10.
So check the weather at your destination. Thanks a lot, Steve, for the £5.
Evening, boss. Hope you're well. Excellent no flaps landing tutorial.
Thank you so much, Steve Mayer. Thank you very much for the £5 donation again. One of my longest members on the channel, in excess of 2 years, and very kind again of you, Steve. I hope you're feeling a little bit better after your little man's best friend, obviously, passing. So thank you very much, Steve. Very, very kind. And yes, I enjoyed making that tutorial. It took me a couple of days. One of the reasons I didn't actually stream in the last week because I wanted to get that tutorial done. There was someone that donated a couple of months ago who asked for that tutorial, so I made a note of it. A few other people have requested it in the period of time of having the channel. And the flaps up landing, the flaps up landing tutorial is quite an interesting one to make because I mentioned it before. The chance of that happening, very unlikely. A lot of you referenced some other YouTube videos to me. So one of a Southwest 737. I had a look at that, and it does look like they do it in all flaps up landing. Certainly the trailing edge flaps were less than 1, but I'm pretty certain their leading edge flaps were extended, so they can actually get those out. And that isn't actually an all flaps up landing. That is a trailing edge flaps up landing. In that case, that's the checklist you complete. But yeah, it was great fun to make. What I also love about making these tutorials is it allows me to refresh my knowledge on that topic. It's not something we would read frequently in the flight crew training manual. We have great guidance in there with regards to that situation, so I refresh my knowledge on it. Everything I told you was based off real world procedures. As I must stress, if you are a line pilot or if you're learning to fly the aircraft at a type rating, do not follow the guidance. It is purely for entertainment, but it is based off what I would do, of course. But there you go. Thank you very much, Steve. And guys, if you ever have any other real requests for tutorials, I have lists and lists of them. I have a rough idea of what I'm going to be doing next. Let me know, because I quite enjoy making the tutorials again. I had such a hiatus between making them. It kind of made me forget what the core of this channel was, and as soon as I discovered live streaming and it was a lot easier for me to manage, I was like, well, that's great, but I've got this amazing time off. I can make some great tutorials to cover here, and I've covered most of the basic stuff here, but we'll be looking to do some more. Let's do a pushback tutorial when? Yeah, my own voice. Absolutely. Kurosh, you're actually one of the guys that requested the flaps up landing, I remember. So I hope you enjoyed that too. Icefire says, coffee machine in-op tutorial. No, just call it a day, go home, Icefire. Awesome. Dr. Wetter, do you think you could beat 320 Sim Pilot in a fight? In an Airbus v Boeing fisticuffs one. V1 simulations, we could get in there as well, but I'd be outnumbered 2 to 1. We need another YouTube 737 streamer. Amazing. Gadget Badger says, have you ever considered smart co-pilots and multi-crew tutorials would be cool, maybe managing situations as a team? Now that has been requested quite a bit, the multi-crew environment. We actually have one of the guys at Discord who's moderator on this channel, helps me out quite a bit. He's a 737 type rated pilot, and I've toyed with the idea of doing some streams with him or playing, you know, doing a multi-crew flight with him. The thing is, we have very different SOPs, so the way we'd get around the flight deck would be a little bit, I don't think it'd be as efficient as it won't think it would look as good. So it is something I have considered, and I'm still considering, but when I run the show on my own, it's sort of do it at my own pace as well. But I might perhaps do something like that then. Got a little bit of music on now in the cruise. I haven't had any music at all today here. Certainly as we're offline as well, so a little bit of music on in the background. I know not everyone's on pizza or both. Oh, we're talking about food, I can't remember. Brendan McCree says, what would you do if you lost all hydraulics? That's a fun day in the office, Brendan. Thankfully, you can still fly the aircraft via a system called manual reversion, which is basically where you manipulate the controls, you know, the hydraulics are no longer working, so they're all connected via pulleys and cables, and you can actually physically manipulate the controls using that system. Extremely difficult. The Level D does a good job simulating that by adding a lot of force to the controls, but it often requires a two-pilot effort to pitch up, pull down, roll the aircraft as well. Very tricky. You can still use the electric trim to assist with pitch, although you never use that in normal flight, but you can use it in the event of manual reversion. But yes, you can still get the gear down, but yeah, you're going to have issues. You can stamp hydraulic pressure to get leading edge flaps out, but there's a whole host of issues you'll have with a complete loss of system pressure. Something that's not covered. It's demonstrated during the type rating to show you how it feels, but like with the flaps up landing, it could happen, but the chances of having a complete loss of both hydraulic systems, incredibly unlikely, but it could happen, and that's why there's a bit of guidance and a checklist to follow in that situation. A transporter for life. Have you been on a 737 MAX simulator? I have. I am rated on the MAX now. ISI says, got to get one of your Jalco workers on the gig. Unbelievable. Kurosh, the chemistry between flight deck to sim and Jim is on a different level. Right, anyway, what's our ETA to Barcelona with no delay? 46, an hour 15 minutes from now. We've got 3.3 tons on arrival. Alternate Girona was around, I think it was 1.8 tons. Yeah, so yeah, max rated, but I haven't flown the max yet. Cat says 737 max
50, 40,
does have a form of
30,
fly-by-wire. Yes, you're right.
20,
the spoiler
10.
system is fly-by-wire. Thank you very much, Kid Bear. Oh, that's what you're
Friday Pizza Fund.
Thank you very much for the €5 for the Friday Pizza Fund. Maybe I could ask Marietta. She'll time it perfectly. I fancy kebab though. You know I love a good kebab. I'll ask her very nicely. What did we have for lunch today? No, we had co-op. We had co-op sandwiches, crisps today because we went to Next. Look at these brands there I'm mentioning. There are other supermarkets available. There's other retail shops available. But we had a co-op sandwich and some crisps. Went to Next to get a bathroom mirror for the downstairs toilet. And what else did we do? Can't remember. Some of the fun stuff we bought. You know what ladies are like when they go shopping. Not doner kebab. I might have lamb tonight. Lamb cut safavra. It's tempting though to have doner. Kat, how was your trip to BC World the other day? Unbelievable. Can't believe Merida. She made me drive to the other side of where we live. I'm not going to say where, but yeah, it was an hour and a half round trip. Nice to go. It's nice to get out of the house and about at the moment compared to the lockdown we've had, so I didn't really mind. At Many Miles 1, my 737 friend reports that the max engine start involves quite a bit more time as the engine is motoring for a long time before reaching 25% N2. He says it feels weird. He's absolutely right, Many Miles 1. The LEAP engine, they have to have this situation where they have to motor for a short while because of the shaft which connects, I think, the compressor and the turbines is it's not bent, but they have to basically make sure it's fully straightened before entering fuel. So I think for the first flight of the day, you have to wait up to, I think it could be up to 90 seconds on certain situations. But yeah, it's more than twice as long. It takes more than twice as long to start a LEAP compared to the CFM. That is for sure. It has this kind of, I think it's called like a bowed engine start or something. Very cool. Fan fictions it will. Alexander, I'm 2 planes in front of you in the air. Your BA 484 Charlie. Which arrival have you planned for? And you climbing like a rocket. My Airbus was being sluggish. Alexander, it's quite funny you mentioned that. Whenever you fly in the 737, we've mentioned this a few times. Let's imagine there's an Airbus. We depart Barcelona going to the UK, and there's an Airbus that departs ahead of me, going to the UK as well, and we then depart next. I've found in my career that generally, I mean, presuming that obviously the aircraft is around the same weight, but the 737 I think has much better climb performance. We're always out climbing the Airbuses, especially the 321s. The 321s I think are very underpowered when they're fully loaded, because they can hold the best part of 220 passengers. But I've had it on a number of occasions: Malaga, Alicante, Valencia, Spain, anywhere from Spain going north to the UK. There's a lot of our Airbus colleagues. We're always out climbing them, always. And we're generally fully loaded, 180 passengers. Will, flight deck to sim, laid his warm, gentle hands on the thrust levers. A great energy surged from his body as the CFM just rolled into a fanfare. What's going on? Oh dear. Transported for life, won the world. Went to carry support at Max, MCAS and a Honeywell common display screen, and finally an airline. Oh my goodness me. Very good. Wow, there's no ATC. Actually, we need to make sure. When does this Fat Sim event start? Yeah, the Fat Sim event in Barcelona starts in 25 minutes, so then we'll have ATC by the time we get there. Sun sets in Barcelona in about an hour, so it might be just after sunset by the time we arrive. Mad Star says, hey, what is your call sign? It's up here if you ever want to know what my call sign is. There it is. We're Alpaca 5 Charlie November today. Let's read back here. N2 said, best part of the new intro song apart from the amazing drum is the twang, twang, twang. Yes, I know exactly what you're referring to there. Oh my goodness me, I need to share that link. The Marzi Spin link. Who here loves Formula 1? We all love Formula 1 here at Flight Deck to Sim. And someone in Discord shared the Marzi Spin website link. I'm going to find it on Discord quickly. It's so funny. It reminds me of that years ago there was a website was set up. How many times had Maldonado crashed? Someone set up a website. How many times has Marzipan span? Nikita Mazepin. And it has also a timer. How long ago was it since he last span off in his car? And also it has a record of every time he has span, because in free practice today he had another little off-track excursion. It's so funny. I'll get the link here now because I can't share links in. I can't get you guys to share links in chat, I'm afraid, for reasons. Let me find it here. Where is it? My new favourite website. And why can't I find it? Oh, I can't remember what chat it was posted in. Someone will have to remind me, but I'll post it as soon as I can. I'm Matam said trying to climb in a heavy A321 is painful, I can imagine. This doing as much as he crashed and spun, Maldonado had more GPs than half the current roster. If he was, yes, he had a few off-track excursions as Marzipan does, but it was actually on a good day. He was actually very fast. I don't know how many races did he win in F1. He won at least one, didn't he? Should have kept K-Mag, yeah. Hi David Van Graan, hope you're doing well. Rob SC, the Ramblers in Barcelona are going to be busy tonight and all these party goers flying in. I know, we're bringing in thousands from London. Alexander Woo is ATC in Barcelona now. Yes, they're hosting an event tonight, so full ATC from 1800 Zulu onwards, so from 20 minutes from now. But it looks like they've already logged on. They're coming a little bit early, which is cool. HMS Daring 1, how much hand flying do you do? I've seen an airclip video, pilots disconnected 10,000 feet and hand flying to land, likewise takeoffs. Yes, HMS Daring 1. my operator, we're approved to hand fly below 24,500 feet if we wish to. Obviously, taking into account the workload situation, is there a lot of traffic? Are you flying into a busy TMA? All that sort of stuff. And if we get some opportunities to hand fly, we do. So, I mean, at the moment with that much flying going on, I would like to kind of hand fly at least on the final approach as well. But then you also got to realise, look, I'm not flying that much as well. I might need to utilise information. Might be a little bit too overconfident with the controls, perhaps. But that'd be unlikely. But yeah, there's nothing stopping us from hand flying. So I'll message saying, hi, what is the event exactly in Barcelona? Said Samir. It's on the VATSIM events page. If you go to the VATSIM events page, which is in the process of being changed, it's all on there. And they tweeted about it as well, VATSIM Spain. I can't remember what their exact Twitter handle is, but an event from 1800 Zulu to 2100 Zulu, I think it was. For 3 hours. No problem, Samir, thank you. It's obviously listening to the stream and then communicating via the VATSIM client. Tom says, wait, did I have to book for a flight? No, absolutely, Tom says, this is just a regular VATSIM event. No bookings required. You can just fly in here. It's only usually the really large VATSIM events like Cross the Pond, Cross the Land, where you have to book. There's some also other events as well. But no, this is just a regular event hosted by the kind of the VATSIM region, VATSIM Spain in this case. I mean, if you're looking for places to fly and you're not aware, if you type in Google VATSIM events, click the top link, that will take you to the kind of outdated page where it only shows you like the day's events. But I'll get you the link, guys, for the new updated one they have. They also have a Twitter as well, at VATSIM events, so you can always see what they're hosting. They have a new page which is coming. It's a bit basic at the moment, but it's like my VATSIM and then VATSIM events. There we are. I'll post it in chat for you guys. So if you take a look at this, you can see a calendar view of all the different VATSIM events going on there. And I very much do base a lot of my streams around VATSIM events because it's my chosen pilot client for online ATC. I know there's IVEO available, and I've heard nothing bad about IVEO. A lot of people ask me why don't you use IVEO. It's just because I just tried one of the two when I started. The voice asked a few people. I think more people said VATSIM than IVEO, so I tried it out, and I'm just I always feel bad because I've had emails from IVEO people saying, oh, would you like to come and try the network? I mean, from a kind of viewer perspective, for you guys, it won't make much difference. So, but no, I could thoroughly, I guess, recommend try out IVEO as well as VATSIM as well. Transporter for Life said, can you fly from Gatwick to Murcia on a video stream? And did you ever fly Air Tours International or My Travel? Could do. We haven't been to Murcia, have we, on a stream? That's one of the airports I've been in Europe. I'll consider that Transporter for Life. And if I did fly that airline, I would have been much younger. I certainly haven't in recent years, so no. Is the answer to that one. David Moore, I was watching F1 practice earlier in Ford View when one of the commentators went, Thanks, David. Right, anyway, we just passed Sophill. Let's do a quick fuel and time check here. Chatting away here. Oh, it's bright. The sun setting. There's Supple then. So, should have been airborne for 40 minutes. Lo and behold, 40 minutes. And we should have burnt 2.6 tons of fuel, 2597. And we burnt 2.6, a little bit more than that. Well, I mean, the delay taxing, so that all makes sense. And fuel on board, we have 5 tons, but we took extra, so that's all looking good.
Captain, can we see your approach rating after landing on the tablet? Smile, I find it hard to follow the GS.
Thank you very much, Jared Lee. I will do my best to try and remember to do that. Last time, Jared Lee, I got a 5-star landing rate, but I got 4 stars for my approach rating. I was very upset. Apparently I exited 250 knots below 10,000 feet, so I was shocked to hear. I swear I didn't, ZIBO. But thank you very much, Jared, for your donation. I will do my absolute utmost to check it. I generally forget to, but unless I'm doing 2 sectors. If I'm doing a second sector, obviously it's there when you go to the performance page and you can refresh it. But I'll have a look. I made a note of it. Check approach rating. See if I can get 5 stars today. Should be getting 5 stars every day, shouldn't I? That's very kind, Jared, thank you. And I believe, Jared, wasn't it you? I do my best to try and remember as many people as possible, but I think you were one of the people that requested the flaps up landing tutorial, and you asked for it about a couple of months ago, and then you even commented on the video as well. It's very difficult, as you can imagine, to try to remember the members and regular viewers, but I do try my hardest. Norski, pressure's on. Alexander, have you received an email for Cross the Pond? I haven't got any and didn't get a slot these past 3 times. So Alexander, I'm very fortunate that being a kind of content creator and I kind of get a bit more of a, you know, I get a kind of like a requested sort of slot approved, so I'm not sure how it works with the regular booking system, which I have used, but I have some connections that thankfully let me put it in there as well. Vatsim also very kindly offered and asked if I'd become part of their I can't remember what the exact wording is, so I'm going to look it up now. I was told about it a few months ago, but I think they released it today. Partner program, so I am part of the Vatsim partner program as well, which is pretty cool. There's Balan, and we're well on the way. Yeah, if we do cross the pond next Saturday, I'm not going to take the ZIBO mod. We've done the ZIBO mod now in 2 cross the ponds and cross the land and cross the ditch. So ZIBO mod is being well exercised. I am really considering taking the A321, the Tolis A321. Just for a bit of a laugh. I think it'd be quite funny, and I believe the A321, I don't know if it could do it with a maximum load, but I think it has got the performance to fly with a fair amount of passengers and it has the endurance required to fly across the pond. I think it'd be quite amusing to do it. Either that or the A300. The A300 I'd prefer, obviously. But what I do like about the Tolis A321, it has this sort of excellent save feature. And I'm just thinking if anything was to happen, like an issue, I can quickly reload the sim, you know, and that would be great. But that would be quite good fun. Jumping back and forth between V1 stream and yours, now 50 cents. Same my regards to V1s. And genuinely, guys, I always try. 320 sim pilot as well. I try not to stream at the same time. Sometimes it just happens because, you know, YouTube tells me that most people watch this stream between 5 and 9 o'clock because most of you guys are European viewers, and that's what I do. And I did see he was streaming at the same time, so it does clash. Yeah, I try when I see other guys streaming to either do it on another day or postpone, but I didn't realise until I released the stream. I was like, oh, okay, he's starting at the same time as well. But no, if you haven't heard of 320 Sim Pilot V1 series, just go check them out. Those guys are doing exactly what I'm doing, but they are Airbus drivers. The XLR range is about 4,700 nautical miles. So what's... I'm not going to tell you the routings I requested until it's all finalised as well. If I can do it in the ZIBO Mod 737, I'll be able to do it in the Neo for sure, the XLR. I'm adamant. So yes, we'll be doing on the cross the pond. If whatever aircraft we take, I'll ensure that whatever aircraft we take, there'll be a chance to win that as well as a giveaway. We'll do some quizzes.
50,
I'm going to do some games
40,
as well, so it'll be a long stream,
30,
like
20,
we did with the last
10.
couple. We'll do some other little giveaways, and we'll do some quizzes as well. What?
Add a bottle of plonk to tonight's kebab.
Greater Van Yeats. Isn't that you, Norsky? Is that you? Unbelievable. Greta Van Yeats. That's... Marianne was telling me earlier. I'm trying to remember now. So that's a rock band or something. I generally can't remember. Where's Google? I can't remember the reference there. Marianne was talking about changing your name to Greta Van... I thought it was Fleet or something. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for your donation. And Apostle of Plonk. What's that? I'm out of context here. Oh dear. Thank you. Andy M71, landing runway 02. Thanks for the heads up on that one. Danny said 320 sim... Oh my god, right. If 320 sim pilot takes the ZIBO mod, I've got to take the Airbus. I think that would be great. Surely that's the option. Has he not flown it yet? He needs to go fly it, that's for sure. I've flown all the 320, 321s, 319s.
50, 40,
I'm the
30,
Airbus. I love Airbus,
20,
man.
10.
Felix, thank you very much for the £5 donation. Oh my.
I have a proposition you cannot refuse. Check Discord DM when got time.
Felix, I'll endeavour to read what you have suggested here. That could only be good news. Thank you, Felix. That's very kind. And there was no need to contribute there to get the attention to that. I would have seen the message. This is very kind. It could be 747-200 related. Well, I don't know. Could be thinking what I'm thinking, maybe. My oh my. I'll have a look. I haven't got Discord open at the moment, but I'll check as soon as the sim is over. The stream is over, Felix. Thank you. John Padfield, I love Airbus, but there is a video out there that would disagree. What, you mean this one? I have a sort of funny relationship with Airbus. That one. It's always on standby, ready to go. Aditya says, fly an A318 to London City, completed it. Well, 319. Type in fly data sim A319 London City for all your Friday night needs, apart from this stream. Excellent. Right, so Andy gives a heads up there'll be runway 02 today. We still have 179 miles to go, so we'll start thinking about the setting up for the approach into Barcelona. I thought I was going for a second. I'll have a look there, Felix, then. Well, maybe everything I just said is out the window. Very cool. And that will give me something to do next week to learn to fly. Jamie, could do the 737-200, just fill the cabin with fuel. Yeah, I think the 200 would struggle, as with the 72. Owen Finnegan completed, mate. That's an in between his reference. Norsky, yes, your better half changed my Valorant name to Greta Van Yeet to play on Greta Van Fleet. Got it. Plonk is just alcohol. I'm not with the kids these days. Luigi, do you think this weekend's race is for Mercedes or Red Bull? Now, I obviously being British, and I like the Mercedes team, and I like Lewis Hamilton as racing it, but I am, like many F1 fans, just a little bit tired of the domination. And last weekend when I was, no, sorry, what was it, 3 weeks ago now, when we were watching the, where was it, Bahrain, weren't we? I think it was Bahrain. I was sort of wanting Max to win, and Max even isn't a big fan. I'm not even a big fan of Max, but I like seeing the competition. But I'd still think, being British, I want Lewis Hamilton to win the championship. It's sort of a weird feeling, really. I support Lewis. I obviously would love
50,
Lando
40,
Norris,
30, 20,
and George Russell to be in a competitive car and be up there. But yeah, it's a strange one. Thank you very much, Pete.
Just popped in to say happy birthday for Monday. Here's to Jolene.
Pete, that's very kind. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. And Pete, thank you very much for the message. It's very kind. Yes. I'll put it very a small, lightly there to all the members again. I'm not going to repeat what I said on Discord the other day, but thanks again. That's all going to go a long way towards helping me at the end of the year. And I have something nicely lined up for everyone on the channel on Sunday, because we've got the members group flight, so all the members are here as well. Just a little way of saying thank you to you. Got a little bit more lined up than the normal $50 Explain gift card, just to say a little thanks back there. So thank you very much, Pete. I was going to announce that on Sunday morning, but I'll bounce it a bit sooner. Very kind. Thank you. And to all of you too. Listen, that was so exciting. I love the way Max behaves. He's got the attitude of a fighter. Yeah, he's a bit. I find him a little bit cocky, but I do like him. It was really strange because I was on that race bar and I was rooting for him. I was like, come on, Max. Really, I was. And it's really exciting to see the car. How fast it's compared to how it's at comparable speed to Mercedes this year. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. And many miles to Nigel reference to PA, is that a flying sim thing or a broader aviation thing? Very much a broader aviation thing, very much so. It's nothing against the PA guys, but they often call Nigel, that's it. But all professional pilots, no matter what operator you fly for Airline, but it's a little bit of a jest amongst the industry. I think they still have problems with the autopilot though. Going to read tons of text in the AM and maybe ask around ZIBO to Rico. I have to get over it. I'll have a look at it, Fearless. Then I mean, I don't know what feedback I can give you. I'm sure. I mean, ZIBO's knowledge of the 737 is incredible. I mean, he has so much background knowledge because obviously he's built the mod from the ground up, really. And usually when I'm clarifying some points for him, he'll ask me a question and then he'll reference something and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, that could be right. And what is great about ZIBO, there's some slight differences between certain 737s, certainly with the logic with the FMS and VNAV in particular. So he has to sort of interpretate what I say and what others say and make it into a workable version of the mod. So yeah, I know where you're coming from, Felis. I haven't got obviously the background knowledge flying the 747, so I don't know what use I'd be, but I'm sure you'll nail it for sure. Keep it up, keep it up. Hello, we've landed in Barcelona. I've flight into sim. Is that what I'm going to say? Hola, hemos aterrizado en Barcelona. Esto es flight to sim. I know little bits of Spanish because I lived here for a year, but I know some. That was my Spanish exhausted there. I can order a table for two. Una mesa para dos. Por favor. Oh dear. That's why I ordered Nigel calls Chow pilots. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, let's start thinking about setting up for this approach. So, a little Dicky Bird told me, former Andy, that they're expecting runway 02 today. So, I'll have a look at the arrivals via Pumol for 02. Now I actually have the charts in front of me here from my work iPad, which I always reference when I can, because it makes it so much easier. So for runway 02 they have two Pumol arrivals, one that takes you to the west of Barcelona, one that takes you right over the top. I'm going to go for a Pumol 3 November. Very much will be based on what other people are saying in chats, how their heads up there. It's quite useful there. Alexander, are you planning the arrival now? Yes, absolutely. Good timing for that. So, what we do, hand over control to pilot monitoring for this sector, start setting this approach here. Now, first thing I want to do is just change the arrival in the FMS because we were told it's runway 02. So, I'm going to go for the Pumol 3 November. And again, this is a sort of guesswork. It might be something different. If you can get hold of ATC nice and early to find out what it is, that's what it's all about. But I don't know any more than the next guy, so we'll go for ILS Zulu 02 Pumol 3 November, which will take us to the west of Barcelona. You know, you can guarantee whatever you put is not what you get as well. And then the arrival transition for runway 02 via the Pumol, arrival via Totki. So we want the Totki transition, Totki 1 November, there we go. Execute. So that's just from looking at the charts, building up a picture of what we need to select here. Presmo Gaming says, how many FPS? Let's have a look here. 35-ish. It's not bad with all the ortho. Vulcan has done wonders to improve my performance. Prior to Vulcan, I was usually hitting around 25-20. Sometimes it was bottoming out for the X-Pilot, unfortunately, but no, it's all good now. It's running smoothly on this system. But when I get Jolene, it'll be much better at the end of the year. Perfect. Right, so once we've changed the run, which we've done, we can start putting some information here in the FMS. So we'll put the flight plan out. Just get rid of the music, guys, so you can hear me a little bit clearer. So descent winds, that's what we're interested in here. So 310, 200, and 100. Hardly any wind. Look, 257 at 39. Really nice, calm today. 200, 262 at 26. And 100 is 293 at 6. It's executed. QNH in Barcelona. Let's have a little look at the METAR here. A little bit out of range. It's always tricky to get Barcelona's 80s as well, with the terrain to the north. The latest METAR from 30 minutes ago is QNH of 1017. Executed. So expecting runway 02. Let's go to the legs page and select runway 02. Go to here, we'll put a 10-mile ring, 4-mile ring, and we're at 37,000 feet, so 111 times 3 is that. 4812. Yes, that's all looking good. So that's roughly where top of descent would be. There we are, so that's looking nice, just for situational awareness. So let's have a look at these arrivals. This is the tricky bit, getting all the charts up to find what you need to do. Alex says, it seems good to me. I planned for the Puma on 3 November at the Tokyo transition. Yeah, that's exactly what I've gone for. Seems good. It might be the other transition. Just be wary and also be always ready to change. Barcelona especially, they can change your arrival and transition at very short notice. You might even already be on the arrival. I've had it before. They've actually gone out and do this transition now, and you're already on the start. So, arrival. It's going to be initially the Puma 3 November, we think. Always order it alphabetically. It's a bit of a pain sometimes in having to find it, but there we are. There's Puma 3 November, and this one takes us west. There's another Puma arrival for 02 which takes us to the east, but we're going to go this one via Tokyo. We now need to select the transition, RNAV transition for this, which is going to be the Tokyo transition. Now, is that on the approach charts, or is the transition chart here? Again, it's a bit different on on Avitab's Jeppesen charts. Let's have a look here on the approach charts. There we are, RNAV transitions to runway 02. There we go, so coming in from Tokyo. And approach is 02. Nice big airport to get lost in. Look at that. And we'll just select parking stands as well. So many charts. That should be everything we need. So, here's our expected routing in. Coming in via Pumol, we have a restriction to be at below flight level 250. So let's check here in the FMS. Pumol, at below flight level 250. We're then going to Berger. Try and get in a view where you can see everything, including the ND. It's a bit tricky to do that, but that should be good. We're going Berger, Cosset. Cosset, there's holding if it's very busy. And then we have the Villafranca VOR. We need to be at max 250 knots at flight level 100, which is set in the FMS. Further south then we're going to Ulkol, and then right to Tokyo. So that looks like it's all coded, and Tokyo is the initial approach fix for us as well. So we want to be doing no more than 220 knots after the initial approach fix. That should update all these to 220. Yes, it has. So that's looking nice. What else to say on this arrival chart? A lot of high terrain to the north where we're descending over here. There's the high point, 9,500 feet. There's holding also at Tokyo, not just at Cosset, so 2 holds on this arrival here. Do not proceed beyond the initial approach fix without ATC clearance. So if you found yourself all the way to Tokyo, you'd have to enter the hold here, 092 right-hand turns if you hadn't heard nothing from ATC. So that's all set. looking good. So transition then takes us from Top Key. And like with many airports now in Europe, instead of conventional holding, what they'll generally do is send you off on this arrival and keep you on it until they can get you onto the approach here. And you basically keep going all the way until you get to Bravo Lima 628, which is here. And if after 628 you haven't got any clearance between flight level 80 and 4,000 feet, which is here, you just maintain your present heading and keep going off over the Mediterranean until ATC says something. So that's how that system works. However, what I generally do is get rid of the vector and then just put the first waypoint 624, like so. And the beauty of this arrival is you don't really have to worry so much about your descent planning, because you have to already be here below flight level 100, then
50,
below flight level
40,
80 here.
30,
Now it's a bit
20,
high for a straight in via
10.
Sanis, but you could, if you quickly configured, get it all sorted.
Today's ELP test. This time next year we will be.
What? ELP test? What's that? YK on? I don't even know what that is. ELP test? English language proficiency? Uh-oh. Lower perhaps, if I keep streaming like this. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for your donation, my latest member. Right, we've got a message from Barcelona Centre. Please contact me. 25-1. There we are.
660, Boeing 16 Bravo.
I hear ATC. Barcelona, Buenos Aires, Alpaca 5, Charlie, November, maintaining flight level 370, inbound Gaillac.
Alpaca 5, Charlie, November, bord de contrôle. Bonsoir, monsieur. Identify, proceed direct to Pumal, report ready for descent.
I drank to Pumal, my apologies, I thought it was Barcelona. Bonjour, and Wilco, Alpaca 5, Charlie, November.
No worries, sir.
Oops. Alright, Director Crew executes. Yeah, get your atlases out, guys. I thought I was going to say we're quite far out. Yes, look, when they went near, we're still over France here. I thought it was Barcelona. Yes, my apologies. Just said good evening to a Frenchman in Spanish. Right, I'm not even going to look at chats for this. Look at chat for the next few minutes. Right, so as I was saying, 628. After that point, we'd expect vectors. Now, I have just... As I mentioned, Bravo Lima 628, we did actually maintain a heading. However, in the FMS, you can see I have sort of cheated. I've gone from Bravo Lima 628 straight to the waypoint. However, if we actually get to Bravo Lima 628 and we commanded this turn here, I'll actually go to heading select, so we'll maintain present heading and go from there. And I could just update and manipulate the FMS accordingly. I'm going to stick to the profile. Now, VNAV will put us here at flight level 80. If it looks like we're not going to be going downwind here, I'll probably dip below that profile in VNAV to get to around 4,000 or 5,000 feet, which would be in a nice position for a straight in here. Because if VNAV will keep us at flight level 80, because it thinks we need to go all the way out here and it wants to keep us as high as possible, so we'll comply with the higher of the restriction there. But 80 direct to Sanis, we're going to be pretty high, but you can just about manage it as long as you're at flat 5 already. So yeah, that's the transition. Max 200 knots in final turn for the outbound leg, so yeah, before we turn final we'll do 200 knots. Speed restriction mandatory, so you have to follow them, and MSA 65 all the way around. So, there we are. Yes, understandable, seeing that you have but your briefing about Barcelona, absolute list event. I had no idea if French ATC would be online, and I was expecting next to be talking to Barcelona, so yeah, that's my excuse. Right, ILS Zulu 02, 10875 is the ILS frequency. That's active once, twice, and final approach course is 019. 019. Set. I'm not looking at chat, just for another minute. Down. 6,000 feet, platform altitude of 2,000 feet. That's at 5.7 miles off Bravo Lima Tango. 5.7, 6 miles, sorry, off Bravo Lima Tango, which is the ident. That's the platform. That waypoint 2,000 feet above the waypoint before. just to maintain some sort of CDA if we can, after 8-0 restriction, so that's all set. We'll go down to our minimums, which RVR, if I can't see, 700 metres, and 320 feet is the minimum today. 320 feet. Now, last time we flew into Barcelona, which was around 4 months ago, we were in the pre-release version of the Tonis Airbus A321, and it was one of the hardest landings I've ever done on live stream. It was around minus 450, minus 500. Anyone remember that? That was the last time we went to Barcelona. It was also on runway 02. I think we flew in from Innsbruck, if I remember rightly. But yeah, I'll try my hardest today. We've got a good bit of a butter streak at the moment, so... Oh my goodness me. So using a cup and string for a radio. Oh my goodness. That was outrageous.
Good evening.
So yeah, that's the ILS. We'll look to the RNAV transition, and we'll put, sorry, 10875 active, which I've done, and sorry, it was the El Prat 14.3, which we'll put on standby. Perfect, so that's all set. So landing performance then, runway 02, 2,500 metres, not the longest. And we'll plan to vacate on a Tango 4 Uniform Bravo, I think is the preferred vacation landing vacation point. So we'll have a little look at the landing performance with a little bit of time. So runway 02, and let's have a look at the latest METAR. Showing 05016, so it's actually... I'm just going to turn the ATC a copy. 05016. So I've got a bit of a crosswind, 10 knots. Temperature is 10 degrees. QNH is 1017.
Reduce speed, Mach 0.74, EZ23.
There we are. So, how much fuel we've got? We have 4.1, we arrive at 3.1, so we're going to burn another ton. Landing weight 61.9. Look at the landing performance, so VRF addition will be +7, 61.9. So it looks like order brake 2, where's that going to take us? Right to the end. I'm probably going to go flat 30, order brake 3, which will take us to around there. Then I could disengage the brakes manually if I floated a bit, just to brake a little bit further to make Uniform Bravo. If not, that should work out nicely. 2 was going to probably take us here, and then we just have to make sure we brake hard as well. I'm happy to go order brake 3, 1,700 metres, and that should be fine to make sure we vacate Uniform Bravo. So 5663, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Lots of ATC. Cool, so flap 30, order brake 3. We'll use idle reverse because it's the last flight of the day. We said flat 30, so that's it. Landing performance done. We're at 20 miles from top of descent. It's so much nicer to get the briefing done prior to top of descent. There we are. Right, let's have a little look at chat then, see what banter's going on here with my slight geographical error. Well, it wasn't really, I just tried to speak Spanish to a Frenchman. Steve said, not again. You got the Atlas. List have been understood, my predicament at least. And Mercury, are you a real tug driver? Brilliant. Joseph says, holla. Cat, I've just seen your comment. You're right to presume the French ATC is offline. Unbelievable. Nothing to say here. I think there's a slight dig in the fact that they're often taking a lot of time off in real life in the summer peak times. We'll leave it there.
Control EZ23, request descent.
Andy H1302, evening folks. I'm from work, put the stream on just in time to see the boss upset a French ATC. Thank you very much, Andy. Hope you had a great day.
Control EZ23, request descent.
Well. Thanks for popping in. Richard, how do you get that cool ATC thing? You're listening to the Vaxim ATC network, so they're real people talking to. A Captain Bagoff, my lawyer remembers that landing. Unbelievable. And Miguel says, we're about at 02, you have to wait for the numbers of runway, if not, go long and miss the runway exit and have a nightmare. Captain, how many hours do you have on your book and how many as a CFI? Let's have a look at my exact hours. I mean, as a CFI, I was only ever a sim instructor in the Level D sim, so I'm a qualified TRI. My license is still valid, but actually instructing in an aircraft, 0. Although it is my intention to become a line training captain once opportunities arise. But I still want a little bit more time in the left-hand seat. I've been a captain for 2 years now, but bear in mind, a year of that is with the COVID pandemic. I only have as a captain around, I think it's 700 hours, so I want a bit more experience before I Christian Osland, welcome aboard as a member, buddy. Glad you enjoying the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom emojis in chat. Thank you very much. And see you around. Cheers, buddy.
Très bien, donc c'était prévu. On part toujours sur Libru pour
oh yeah, hours. My exact hour count is 4,563 hours and 35 minutes, and times instructing in a level D sim, or sorry, as an instructor as an SFI is 1,156 hours, which is I log separately. It doesn't include your total flying hours, of which 4,200 is in the 737. Let's get descent in.
Linéa 180, bord de contrôle, bonsoir monsieur, identify, proceed direct to Albert.
Albert.
Direct Albert, 180.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, request descent.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, descent initially flight level 290.
Descent flight level 290, Alpaca 5, Charlie November. Now, it should not be doing this. The mod's a little bit of a bug here. I've set 290, I've mentioned this before, it should go to out hold. It shouldn't start descending on its own like that. Bit of a little bug. Anyway, top of sets in chat, and what VNAV's going to do is going to try and attempt in idle path descent to capture that profile. It's going to dive for that, which I don't really want it to do, so I'm going to go level change and just bug decimal 79, and the aircraft will pitch to maintain this speed as we descend. Our indicated airspeed will increase for a fixed Mach number, and as soon as we back up profile, which is coming up here quickly, we'll go back to VNAV.
Transavia 5135, continue descent flight level 310.
Lovely flight time this one.
Night of the day, Voltaire 20 Romeo Uniform
Top of the
flight
drops.
level 240, descending 3,000 feet inbound Iraq.
Just going to decimal 79, because remember we have to make that restriction at Pumal to be out of below flight level 250. There's a restriction requirement here.
5675 Voltaire.
And that's what VNAV's commanding, is saying, right, if you want me to be level at Pumal at 250, here's my profile to maintain your target speed with idle thrust. That's what we're trying to catch up. Captain, oh really? I thought you had more hours than I do. You and I should you should have a flight together on Dad's Carbon Cup. That'd be an amazing experience. I haven't flown last light aircraft I flew was a couple of years ago in Seattle. Microsoft very kindly invited me over to go and have a look at Microsoft Flight Simulator before it was announced. That was great fun. First time I flew G aircraft in years. Brando, stab trim override? No, I don't think it is modelled, it's just a fixed switch here. What this system does, basically in normal operation, you can't trim against the aircraft, so if you pitch nose down and try and trim nose up, it won't allow you to do that, and vice versa. However, if you use this switch in the override position, you can trim regardless of your pitch position. The only situation or checklist which allows you or instructs you to pitch in the override position is with a jammed or restricted flight control. You'd actually use that position which will allow you to trim.
1,000 to go.
Lufthansa 5705, contact Barcelona 125.25. Have a good flight, over.
Approaching 290 now. I need to do the opposite, actually reduce our speed because we're going to miss our restriction here.
November, contact Barcelona, continue descent flight level 270 and contact Barcelona 125.25. Over.
125.25, descend flight level 270, Alpaca 5, Charlie November. Bye. I tried to remember French of what? But I wanted to say adios and I would have made myself look like an idiot. I've done that before in life as well. Right, level change. Let's contact Barcelona. What did he say? It was 125.25, I think it was.
Sorry, you broke up halfway for the...
Oh, it's so hard doing everything on your own. Where's Jim?
The speed is yours. Speeded of
Au revoir.
right.
Instead I just went, boy, like my voice cracked as well. So I'm going to struggle for this 2550 restriction. We only need to get to 270 anyway.
Descent flight level 130.
Alpha 2 November arrival, descending 130, Lufthansa 579.
16, disregard.
Barcelona, we went as Alpaca 5 Charlie November, descending flight level 270 inbound Pumal.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, wonderful evening. Pumal 3 November arrival, descent flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Pumal 3 November, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. I
Recognise
recognise his controller, his voice, he's done loads of control, loads of ATC here. Now, notice it's gone to vertical speed. The reason it went vertical speed, guys, is whilst I was setting MCP altitude, we were in outer choir. And if you're in outer choir and you change your MCP altitude, it reverts to vertical speed. So it's a bit of a gotcha, because if you miss that, you might forget you're in vertical speed there. So we have missed the Pumal restriction. The controller, there was absolutely nothing we could do with it. It was impossible being held high. We're going down at flight level 100, so we're going to have a brief level segment look. It actually says look after Pumal 250. I want you to be level at 250 to carry on with the idle path descent. So what I'm going to do now is just go vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute, and then once the profile comes back in, we can revert back to VNAV. Don't want to level off for ATC.
Charlie, contact Barcelona 126.5.
Pangolin, when will you be publishing the flight deck sim range of Facebooks to go with the Atlas? Hilarious.
Barcelona, good evening, Alitalia to the Golf, flight level 270.
Hey Kurosh, why not put a restriction at Bravo Lima 640 so you're low enough for a straight in? Actually a very good point here. I don't expect a straight in, that's why. Now in real life, you're quite right, and you've seen in previous streams where I actually manipulate the altitude in the FMS to put myself in a position for a straight in for Sanis, and if it was quiet, I'd absolutely do that. However, how many aircraft were ahead of us? There were a huge amount of aircraft, so I expect, sort of cheating here as well, I expect to be, if not holding, going all the way downwind there. Now, I'm actually looking at the map here. Now, they might be able to manage it, but if that's the case, 80 here is very high. We'll have a look. At this position here, being at flight level 100, I'll have a very good idea if I can expect to go downwind, and if at that point here, at top gear, I can actually go speed brake, flat 5, 220 knots, and then I can quickly get below, way below 80 here to make sure I comply with that.
The Auburn 2 November arrival and descending flight level 10.
Listen out here, because the controller
Ryanair 57 Oscar Delta.
Seems a bit...
Turn right heading
stress,
210.
Here, I had to go to Chile.
Final Colton only 119.1.
Heading 210, contact 119.
ADF, Captain, I haven't seen you for a while. You're doing well, buddy. These clouds look pretty good. So what are you using for them? As always asked here, these are the Active Sky cloud textures. I think when you purchase Active Sky, they give you the option to select the high quality cloud textures. That's all it is. I have no plugins or shaders or anything like that to affect the colour of it. Otherwise, that's just default X-Plane 11. It's the Active Sky high quality texture cloud textures.
Turn left heading 150.
Left 150, Lufthansa 579.
Easy 178, VV 1 November transition, contact 5.
Anyway, sorry, when he cleared us on the arrival, the 3 November, just always verify it as well, so it's the one we've got selected here on the charts. Verifying the FMS.
Alitalia to the Golf, flight level 270, request descend.
There we go.
VV 1 November transition.
Say again, 16 Bravo.
16 Bravo, VV 1 November transition.
So he's doing the other one. See how he's doing a VIBIM 1 November? That aircraft's been cleared to the east to fly the VIBIM 1 November. We're going to the west via the Topkey 1 November because we were cleared on the Pummel 3 November, sorry, which takes us to the west. The other guys coming in on the other arrival, which obviously, yeah, sorry, on my operator they had both charts on, or both arrivals on one chart, but it's a different chart. I think it was the Pummel 1 X-ray, which takes you via VIBIM.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, Barcelona 126.5.
126.5, Alpaca 5, Charlie November, good luck. You'll need it. Anyway, let's go back to VNav. Look, that profile's coming back to us, so it's going to maintain 1,000 feet per minute until it recaptures the profile, and we're all good. Barcelona, Buenos Aires, Alpaca 5, Charlie, November. We're descending to flight level 100 on the Pummel 3, November.
50, 40,
Alpaca 5, Charlie, November, buenas tardes, identified. Suspect Turkey 1 November transition and continuous clear.
Tokyo 1 November transition, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. I'm so sorry, Jonas Let's Plays. I think that's the second time that's happened to you.
50,
I can repeat
40,
it though. Power.
30,
Power
20,
I have. Thank you very much
10.
for the €5.
Coming too late to the party again, but I had to end my flight for Air Hauler 2 to Innsbruck. Today with a nice circle throughout, kind of a trade-off, carrot.
Jonas Let's Play, thank you very much for the €5. Continue to support the channel, very kind. Air Hauler 2, that is something I was playing around like 14, 15 years ago when it first came out. I was like, that's cool, and it could do all the cargo flights between two or three different places, but I think I only ever had the original one, Air Hauler. But that's very kind. Sorry to hear about your sorry, oh no, you had a successful flight, but you had a nice circle to approach, so that's not bad. I thought you might have hit the side of a mountain or something, but no, congratulations. And, may I wish you a fruitful career in Air Hauler 2. Thank you very much for your donation, and thanks to Carrot.
5, Charlie, November, flight direct Turkey.
Direct to Tokyo, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Now that's a nice little shortcut. Just going to cut a little bit of the leg off, so I'll execute that. We have a required to be at or below flight level 100. We're still around 3,000 feet below that profile, so we'll keep it descending. And that restriction then is going to take us direct from that point all the way to the initial approach fix of Tokyo. And Tokyo will be at maximum flight level 100, which is what VNav will do for us. That's looking good here. We can keep it in VNav in this case. Beautiful. Look at the sunset here. We've not done any external views all stream. Maybe one little song before we get below 10,000 feet as well. All the party goers going to Barcelona. Andy says, just did a 700 feet per minute landing over runway 02. Not my finest, that's for sure. Little firm that one there, Andy, but it sounds like you're down nice and safe.
Alpaca 16 Lima Bravo, hello, identified flight direct to Turkey. Expect Turkey 1 November transition for runway 02. ILS will approach. Direct Turkey.
David Boydenbrook has a few less trees indeed. Yes, I've taken my fair amount of trees out without safety doing the circle to land. It's pretty tight there. Awesome. Pedro Dias, hope you're well. He says, hi boss, hope
50,
you butter this time. Thank
30,
you.
20,
Jonas, let's play it
10.
again. I know. He says, my time again, let's do it again. Maybe. You got away with it that time, Jonas, let's play. Thank you so much. Very generous again. Last stream, I think it was, or the stream before Jonas Let's Play, he donated at the exact same time I was talking to ATC. He's just very unlucky with the timing, but I sometimes have to mute it to make sure I can hear ATC, but I'll always replay it to say thanks. Cheers, Jonas Let's Plays. That's very kind. Karma says, I was wondering why Vatsim was so cluttered with flights to Barcelona. I know. You've been bringing the alpacalypse to them. There's the aircraft catching the profile. You can hear the engines spooling down. Captain Backoff, can I get my beach towel ready? Absolutely. We actually have some flighting beach towels in stock. Someone actually purchased that one once before a stream. Amazing.
Speeddeck 484 Charlie.
Trini, please can I have a cabin tour? Absolutely, sir. Whilst we're in here. It's been a long time since someone's requested a cabin tour. Here you go. Everyone has the Alpaca Airways advert on loop. With the lighting on now. Have a little quick look around. I think the ZIBO Mod cabin is one of the best cabins in Expert Lab. It's really nice. Have a quick look around. All economy here in Alpaca Airways. jump back into the cockpit and start concentrating on what we should be doing, but
Iberia 118, velocidad 230 nudos.
Buenas tardes. Una mesa para dos. Tres cerveza, por favor. There we go. Right, let's get down to business. So, turning down to flight level 100 in compliance with that restriction at Tokyo. And there's another aircraft coming inbound for Tokyo as well. We're still under no speed restriction, so if you're under no speed restriction, you know, fly speed you wish. It's AT's responsibility to ensure there's sufficient separation between traffic. Below 15,000 feet, so around 15 minutes to landing. We'll cycle the belts. That just reminds the cabin crew, if the seatbelts have been on all flights, that we have around 15 minutes landing. It's around 13 minutes. It's a little bit late doing that. No working toilet though, says John. Unfortunately, not in the cabin.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, descend flight level 80, speed back 240 knots.
Set flight level 80, speed 240 knots. Alpaca 5, Charlie November. 80 set, so we'll go level change, bug 240. And then we'll straight away comply with ATC's restriction, and we'll also tell VNAV that we'd like to do 240 knots at this stage. However, it will be complying shortly to maintain 220 knots, which I set earlier after Tokyo, but we'll fly 240. Looking good.
Iberia 1378, contacte con Barcelona en 19.1 con vuelo.
19.1 Barcelona, Iberia 1378, gracias.
Beautiful evening, look at that. Danny says, little second hop to IB for after landing. No, I'll be going to get my supper this evening, Danny, just a single sector today.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots, Alpaca 5, Charlie November. 220, that's as per we set in the FMS, and now he's beginning to sequence everyone. So by putting us at 220 knots, no doubt the guy in front of us is doing 220 knots or greater. Separations maybe around 3 or 4 miles by the time we catch up with him. And only thing which I have mistimed here slightly is the restriction to be below flight level 100 at Tokyo. So I'm just going to get the speed brake out, only about 400 feet high. Now VNAV's just jumped. So yeah, in hindsight I wasn't paying enough attention, but just make sure you're below max flight level 100 at Tokyo as per the arrival. It's too busy looking in the cabin. VNAV for a little bit of a wobbly though. VNAV's usually very good, because when we're on VNAV during the cabin tour, it usually is much better, even in the ZIBO mod, at putting you exactly at flight level 100. Now the way this is displayed is it's really far off the line here. I mean, these are flyby waypoints, but you wouldn't see the magenta line so far off the waypoint like this. It wouldn't be quite depicted like that. And you can see, look, at being Tokyo, we have actually made that restriction to be at flight level 100. So I can retract the speed brake. And now it's very much dependent on what this guy does. If this guy goes straight on direct to a 10-mile final at Sanis, we need to quickly configure the aircraft. The thing is, at 220 knots, speed brake flat 5, we can bring straight out. We can quickly recapture that profile for a straight in. But I've got a feeling we're going to be going right now anyway towards Bravo Lima 636. DJ says, are these real radio controllers? Yes, you're we're on the VATSIM network at the moment, buddy. Anyway, passing flight level 100 for 80, doing the post-cruise checks down, so fuel full pumps. Lights coming on, and put the logo light on as well. So it's approaching the hours of darkness, and fuel we have 3.6 on board, and set. Pressurization is nice. Normal, seatbelts on, recall. There we are, checks complete. So it looks like we're going downwind.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, contact final approach 119.1. Bye now.
119.1. Alpaca 5, Charlie November. Que tenga buen día.
Gracias, adiós.
That's one out of my dictionary.
252 degrees, descending.
That is for another one, 484 Charlie.
So you can see, look, we're building a picture here. There's aircraft ahead of us not being turned downwind, so we don't need to worry about much our profile, you know, getting high. We won't be turned in before this aircraft here.
The altitude? 4000 feet, QNH 1017.
So again, we should be below flight level A0 as well at this point, so a little bit high.
Boeing 16 Bravo Tower 118.32, bye bye.
1832, weathering 16 Bravo Tower.
Iberia 1378, descenso 5.000 pies, QNH 1017.
At Barcelona final, hello, Alpaca 5 Charlie, November, maintaining flight level 80220 knots on the Tokyo transition inbound Bravo Lima 636.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, buenas noches, descent altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Send 6,000 feet, QNH 1017, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. So 6,000 feet is set QNH 1017, which I thought to preset.
Speedway 48
I'm just
Charlie,
going
right
vertical
heading
speed, set a
350 degrees,
500 feet, which should be fine.
ILS, Zulu runway
Passing 8,000, 6,000 feet, standby altimeter is set.
Do you have any problem? I see you climbing, not descending.
Oh, bank angle, whoops, look. Why has no one said that?
Iberia 1378,
remember those.
vuele rumbo 200.
Looks like we're doing
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, minimum clean speed.
minimum clean speed, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. So we're going to go all the way back to 208, 207 knots. Minimum clean speed is the up speed.
Speedway 48 Charlie, do you have any problem?
Yeah, there's a few calls to the autopilot. I'll just bring it around manually now. Speed approach Charlie.
48 Charlie, Roger. Cancel approach, right heading 100 degrees.
So we're going to go on a heading now, remember, because otherwise the aircraft will command the turn as we programmed. So what we're going to do is go heading select, because we need to comply with the arrival, which is to maintain heading after this point. So heading select. I think this could be the aircraft having problems. Not
Charlie,
sure.
Tower 118,
That's why I've got heading select, because the aircraft will command that turn. We might be, you have to be a bit careful with this, because you might be outside the range at which in X-Plane 11 it picks up the localizer. It kind of cuts out around 20 miles. It's a bit of a pain. You can extend the centre line now and use LNAV to at least intercept.
48 Charlie, you can fly now heading 350 degrees, clear ILS runway 02.
350, cleared ILS 02. Right, Charlie.
So it's like he's getting someone in, I think. Unfortunately, this guy.
And Alpaca 5 Charlie November, descend 5,000 feet, left heading 110 degrees.
Descend 5,000 feet, left heading 110 degrees. Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Yeah, so it looks like we're getting turned inside this guy. So we're out at 25 miles. 7,000 feet is perfect. We'll update to Bravo Lima 624.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1017, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. 4,000 feet
50,
set.
40, 30,
Let's turn this thing off.
20,
That'll be the last one. Jonas, let's
10.
please again face with the 5 euros. I don't know what you said now.
I actually sent the second message right before the next transmission. I were wondering if the message was over it
Director
again.
Sanis,
Cheers, a joy,
good
thanks for
ILS
streaming.
002, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. That's why I should always remember to turn it off. Alright, execute, LNAV available. Thank you very much, Jonas. Let's be 3 out of 3. I just sent the second message right before the next transmission. I'm wondering if the message was over it again. Thanks for streaming. Thanks a lot, Jonas. Let's Plays. Completely missed ATC again, almost. You always time your donations. That's very kind. And on that note, there we are. It's all muted for the approach.
Final EC23.
So kind of utilising only the FMS here because we can't actually pick up the ILS. We've been cleared on the approach as well. Did he say descend 3,000? That was actually what I was thinking. Usually they tell you to descend further as well. Alpaca 5 Charlie November, sorry, just confirm the cleared altitude.
Yeah, you are clear, descend 3,000 feet, clear ILS Zulu runway 02, further with the light.
Descend 3,000 feet, cleared ILS 02, and further to glide, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. There you go, Jonas, let's play. Look at that, unbelievable. Well spotted, Alejandro, yes. So that's great, we're now under the instructions of the ATC, 3,000 feet, and then we can descend further to glide slope. Decel point's a little offset here. You wouldn't expect it to be offset, the magenta line should be exactly on it. Not sure that's basing it off. I think that's from 220 to whatever our next speed is. Final so yeah, we'll just use LNAV. The FMS should come in any time second. VNAV should be giving us accurate guidance, so we can actually, you can actually revert to VNAV, but I'll just use level change. with the upspeed to maintain the upspeed. We actually need to do the approach checklist here. So we've got 108.75 active for the ILS, which is the frequency for ILS 02 fixed rings for 02, 10 and 4. And no idents yet, arming approach 019019, so we can't actually complete the approach checks until we get the idents. We should happen any second now. Change now, maintaining minimum clean. There we are. So glide slopes are live, so I should go vertical speed 500 feet per minute, and there's localizer alive as well, so Vorlock. So there's Bravo Lima Tango, and localizers captured, and runway heading 0190 set. There we are. We'll just maintain 500 feet per minute until we intercept the ILS. We have been cleared for the ILS approach as well. Looking good, guys. Awesome. So if you're enjoying the Friday night stream, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button as well. Really appreciate it. How's the video get out to as many people as possible? It's been very entertaining, very enjoyable from start to finish. I hope you picked up a few bits and pieces for your flight sim home experience as well. We're just on a long final here into Barcelona, passing 18 miles. At this point, it's just about maintaining the energy. Actually, one of the things I want to demonstrate for you guys, because I've always mentioned it as well, I'm going to really shallow off the descent here, so we can actually intercept the glide slope early. And I'm going to show you what happens if you intercept a glide slope with the flaps up, because if you remember, for those of you who watched the tutorial I recorded 2 days ago, the flaps up landing tutorial, I explained how it's really important to get the gear down prior to glide slope capture. Don't just intercept it with the flaps up. So I'm going to show you what happens, look, when you intercept approach here with the flaps up. Now sometimes with a bit of a headwind it can actually manage the speed quite well, but I'll actually show you what happens with the flaps up and how it's important. You should have, or definitely, flap 1 prior to glide slope capture, flap 5 as well. I'll show you what happens if you're clean with being on a glide slope here. So there's glide slope capture. Missed approach altitude is climb remain of 500 feet, right turn, not before the VOR max way 5 to 056, perhaps 3,000, so 3,000 feet set. Alpaca 5 Charlie November's established ILS 02 15 miles.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, contact tower 118.32, bye bye.
11832, thanks a lot for the exit ATC Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Can I take a buddy up?
You're welcome, bye bye.
Perfect, so 11832 is active. So there we go, guys. So here we are, glide slope capture. Thrust is completely at idle. Look, I can show you. Look, completely at idle. 32%. And look at the speed. What's it doing? See the speed? Look, it's running away. So it is so important to get glide slope, get some flaps out. So look at this. There's nothing I can do. Speed's running away, so I need to select flap 1. It's so important prior to glide slope capture that you get flaps out. Otherwise, your speed you cannot control. So let's go flap 1 just to demonstrate.
Confirm you are ready for immediate departure.
There, so flap 1 is now indicated green light. That's a little bit faster than it should be. And even with flap 1, look at that. Look, still can't control the speed here with even a 9 knot headwind. So look, speed's still running away. Let's go flap 5. And I would have done this way earlier. It's just a demonstration, guys. Just a demonstration. There you go. So with flap 5, we're now getting the drag we need from the flaps to control the speed. Bug 180 knots. And actually, flap 5 at around 180 knots, the speed's pretty static in the 737. Sometimes we even have to go flap 10. So look, it's barely under control. That's one of the reasons I love the ZIBO mod. The flap drag model is very, very close to the real aircraft. Very close.
Speedway 484 Charlie, welcome to Barcelona, contact Barcelona from
It should be back at flap 5 speed nicely. This is incredibly accurate to the real 737. At Barcelona Tower, we Buenos Alpaca 5 Charlie November, ILS 02 approaching 8 miles.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, hello, continue approach runway 02 as number 2.
Can you approach Alpaca 5 Charlie November? We're number 2, and the aircraft's way ahead of us, so we'll just bug 180 knots. So there you go, that was just a little demonstration of why it's important to select flaps prior to glide slope capture. If you're above glide slope as well, you really struggle to maintain the energy. And usually, as I mentioned in the flaps up tutorial, on the glide slope with flap 5, it'll hold the speed quite nicely with pretty much idle thrust. And certain days when there's no headwind or even a tailwind, if you're at max landing weight, you might need flap 10 to control your speed. Very slippy, very slippy. Cool, looking good. We'll configure it 4 miles. Kurosh, based on previous experience, I'm predicting a 544 feet per minute landing rate. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We've got aircraft. Look at that. They've got aircraft departing on 07 right whilst we're landing on 02. How cool is that? How cool is that? You can hear the thruster idle there. Right, let's start configuring. Gear down. Flap 15. Match speeds. Landing checklist. Start switches. Continuous. Vehicle check. Speed brake on. Green light. Landing gear down. 3 green. Auto brake set to 3. Just holding on flap 30. Which you can now select. Flap 30. Match our final approach speed. Flaps, we have 30-30, green light, we're just waiting for our landing clearance.
Alpaca 5, Charlie November, windy 050 degrees, 11 knots, runway 02, clear to land.
02 clear to land, Alpaca 5, Charlie November. Absolutely flawless. 80 seats today, absolutely brilliant. Really professional, really nice. Right, should just have flying. Disconnect the autopilot. Disconnect the auto throttle.
Speed Bear 48, Charlie, welcome to Barcelona. Contact Barcelona ground frequency 21, decimal
Actually, I've started kind of changing my view. There we go. It's a little bit better now. It's around 57% N1 target.
Speed Bear 48, Charlie, read back the
Around 60 tons, but I'm a little bit above 60 tons there, around 61. That should work out quite nicely.
48, Charlie, say again.
Yeah, a little bit of thrust there just to bring the speed.
Speed Bear 48,
stable.
Charlie, read back the frequency, please.
122.225, Speed Bear 48, Charlie.
Speed Bear 48, Charlie, negative frequency 21, decimal 7.
Okay, good, so there's 500 feet AGL, we're fully stabilised. Cool, continue. I should just realise this view, you can't actually see your rate of descent. I've got to do better than my last landing here, that's for sure.
1378, hello, continue approach runway 02 as number 2.
300.
A little bit of a crossing from the right, but hardly any crossing. Let's continue. A little bit low.
200.
There we are, 2 rows, 2 points. Glide slope gets very sensitive close to the runway, but no, it's exactly as it is in real life as well. It's very accurate to the PAPIs in Explain 11.
50. 40. 30.
Check,
20,
close, 10. Hold the attitude, a little bit of left rudder, a little bit high here. Ooh, that's a firm one for usual. Good, great landing though. Right, speed brakes up. Reverses, idle reverse. A float and a not a button. That's not great. 100 knots. Right, manual braking.
80 knots.
80 knots. Take the next left. And 60 knots, and that actually wasn't the planned point to vacate there. We were planning at Uniform Bravo. But we can take this one. I think this is Uniform Bravo. A little bit early there to select the flaps. Yeah, this is Uniform Bravo, so we're happy with that one. Certainly better than... Unbelievable. Look at chat. Brutal. No butter, just brutalness from chat. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, runway vacated. There's Uniform Bravo. Alpaca 5 Charlie November vacated 02 Uniform Bravo.
Wind is 050 degrees, 11 knots, runway 02, clear to land.
Clear to land.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, welcome to Barcelona. Contact Barcelona ground frequency 21, decimal 7, bye bye.
121.7, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Thanks for the great ETC, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
There's 21.7, and let's just get the airport chart here. We'll find out where on earth we're parking. Could be anywhere.
Speed by 44 Charlie, right on November, hold short Foxtrot Sierra.
A grand very good day, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. It's just vacated runway 02 at Uniform Bravo. Look at the aircraft on final, guys.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, good evening. Continue taxi left on Uniform, right on Sierra, hold short Foxtrot November.
Uniform, and then right on Sierra, hold short of Foxtrot November, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Look at all the aircraft on final. How cool is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, really awesome. Very, very cool. Right, anyway, I best work out where we're going. Right, we're taxiing in Uniform right on Sierra, and then we're holding short of Foxtrot November, which is here. There you are. Now, Barcelona, you can see, I'm in comparison to Heathrow earlier, I'm much more familiar with. I've flown in here a dozen times, so I know roughly where the taxiways are, so I know where it was looking. Whereas before, I was like, where on earth is Echo? All looking good. Sweet. Right, let's put some music on. There's our taxi music. Same as the intro music. Very cool.
For Charlie, give way for Airbus 320 of
Cool. And then, yeah, following the taxi instructions there. So there's Sierra. Start doing the clean. Oh, I keep trying to twist my tiller, but I've disabled it because it no longer works. I have to use the rudders. Oh, it's going to take some getting used to, that is. Right, let's start doing the cleanup. So skipper, weather, landing, and the speed brake stowed. First officer, transponder 2 out off, trim reset as well. 4 units, order brake 2 off. Flight directors can come off. Altitude to 3,000 plus 100 feet. Speed to 100 off, so get a steady, and probe heat off as well. Thrusters are idle, so we can push recall. Make sure to do PSEU lights, which is something I never mentioned. That should only be anti-ice with the probes. Excellent. So we're going to carry on in a straight line until we get to Foxtrot November, which is not too far down here. Just keep our eyes peeled. There's Echo November. Awesome flight. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it wasn't too exciting, another ILS, and I know you guys want to see more circles and non-precision approaches. We're going to do some more soon. But it's been a week since the stream just saw the Barcelona event. I thought, let's just do a nice little Heathrow to Barcelona.
Alpaca 5 Charlie November, right on Foxtrot November, stand 104.
Right on Foxtrot November, stand 104, Alpaca 5 Charlie November. Point of status. Right, so here is Foxtrot November. And stand 104. Oh, straight ahead and then a right. That's my sort of taxi clearance. It's quite simple here in Barcelona, to be fair. Right, we'll get the APU started. This scenery, by the way, is from Just Sim. It's a very nice rendition of Barcelona. So stand 104 here on the right. Rosie, have you considered doing the latest A320 mod for across the pond instead of the towless? I'd probably take the towless. I mean, I know Microsoft and especially the fly-by-wire is improving daily, but for me, for the commercial jet airliners at the moment, X-Plane's way further ahead with how it feels and stuff. But I don't know. I know the fly-by-wire has developed a lot, so I'll have a think about it. But towless might have, Felis might have something lined up. We'll have a look. I'm not sure what he was referring to earlier, but it'll either be a wide-body 4-engine jet or an Airbus. I know what I'd rather take. No offence, Airbus pilots. Right, there's 738. Right, parking brake is set. AP is ready to go on the bus. 2 blues, 1 red. Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong view there. There we are. 1 red and engines. Wasted about 10 kilos of fuel. There we are. Our dead, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Barcelona. In beauty. Lovely little flight that was. Hour 40, no delay. The ATC here was superb. Really, really nice. Nice little sunset arrival as well. Well, about 20 minutes after sunset, but a little bit late getting out of Heathrow. Yeah, lovely little Friday evening stream it was. Let's have a little look here on this approach then. So the comments here, as usual, the banter is flowing. You guys are so brutal sometimes, I can't believe it. We're using the rudder taxi. Don't worry, Playley. It's quite quite possible to switch between the two. Danny Ripple makes the £1.73. He was wondering if I was going to Ibiza. He says I'll swim to Ibiza then instead of flying. Unbelievable. Nice dream, Captain. Thank you very much, Danny Ripple. And yeah, don't get too lost there. It's quite a distance you need to swim. Unbelievable. Listerman said 10 out of 10 would smash that aiming point again. Yeah, a little bit long. Oh dear, oh dear. Very cool. Right then, guys. Well, we'll wrap that up for today's stream. What does it say? It's Friday today. Yeah, if I don't do something Sunday, maybe Monday, Tuesday. Pencil in next Saturday, guys. So we'll be doing Cross the Pond in some exciting aircraft, and that'll be a really long stream. I'll have lots of stuff lined up for you, of course. We'll have some quizzes, we'll do some giveaways, some merch, and some whatever aircraft we fly, unless it's freeware, which I don't think it will be. I'll give away a copy of that as well after the stream, so looking forward to do that. But I hope to do at least 1, if not 2 streams before then, perhaps something on the Flight Deck Sim Gaming channel. I get my racing seat, I've ordered a racing seat now, which arrives tomorrow. The play seat, it's like a budget play seat, racing seat, but I'm quite excited to try it, and if I really get into it, I'll upgrade to get another one there. So very, very exciting. Samuel Butler says anti-collision light. Yes, you're quite correct. There you are. Perfectionists. Don't forget to check your N2s below 20% before doing that. There you are. That's a properly shut down aircraft. For once. I'll often forget a few things there. Very good. Well, Christian said, have a lovely weekend. Thank you very much. And to you, Kai. And yeah, let's disconnect from VATSIM and we'll throw it into the replay. There we go. Turn this music down. Sweet, and let's cue the funky replay music. Excellent. Oh my, performance overlay? What's this? Alt-R? No, that's my replay shortcut. No, why are you doing that? Performance overlay, well, you can see my FPS. Well, that's how I usually activate replays, and now I've got my ground speed increased. How do oh, I've broken this. Reset ground speed. Why has that now become my replay shortcut? Unbelievable. I'm going to have to do it this way. Look, toggle replay mode, Alt-R. Never mind. Go to view show replay. Oh, damn you, NVIDIA, for assigning yourself a view without me telling you. Right, anyway, let's have a look at this landing. Oh yes, it's using a different threshold here, unfortunately. Crank up those exterior sounds. Right, still on the wrong runway. Is it going to switch over to the threshold of 02? Yes, there we go. Let's see how bad it was then. That poor customer, that's on the latest video update. Unbelievable, that was cheeky of them designing that. I'll have to reassign it. Yeah, well, not bad. Not bad, a bit long. A lot of butter to keep you lot satisfied. Lovely time to fly though. Love dusk. Pedro, good night everyone. Have a nice weekend to you all. Thank you very much. Hope you do too. A block. Much better than the last time we landed on that runway in the Tolis, which was the last time we were in Barcelona. We've got a tower view. We do. Tower view. Tower Barcelona is right in the middle of the airport, really high. Let's see what Juan thinks. Beautiful decrab. Yeah, not enough though, Panda. To be fair, it was a very small decrab. I mean, you don't even really need to do it with that small amount of wind. Centre line was bang on. Okay, it's having a mind of its own. Why are you zooming out on its own? I'm not even touching the keyboard at the moment. I zoom in with the mouse, and it just zooms out on its own. Why are you doing that? Keep zooming out on its own. Tried it with you. It seems to have stopped. Unbelievable. Right then, guys. What's going to be the best view? I reckon this one, the wing view. Yes, you're going to see the terminal and stuff. Cool. Well, that was another excellent live stream. I hope you really enjoyed watching that. And to always the people that come and popped in and watch it, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way. It does a lot to help the channel and get the video out to as many people as possible. So everyone that donated, thank you very much for the continued support. And to all the regular members as ever, thank you as well for your continued support as well. If I don't see you before the end of the weekend, I hope you all do have a great weekend. I'll hopefully pop in and do something at some point. Perhaps find something different with the ZIBO mod. There's a couple of streams done in the ZIBO mod and a tutorial as well. Sweet. So as ever, stay safe and I'll see you all very soon. Good night from me.